topics, whether conscious or cosmic. It's never nonsense, mega levels are microscopic. It's a Killah Priest project, AD control the rocket. Before we land the plane, many things we engage and explain. The unexplained, without mask. Welcome to the Killah Priest podcast. Killah Priest podcast.
Yeah.
It all happened that fast.
Yep. That's good.
Like,
Yeah.
glad so.
Good. We in here live. In here clear.
Now I'm back. Yeah. What's good, yo? What's good, everybody, man? Welcome to another episode of Killah Priest Podcraft. I'm your host, Killah Priest. I'm almost there, so prepare to say peace. Under the rocket is none other than ADA Dizzle.
Yeah.
Yes, and y'all know him. Solo Gems is in the building.
What's good? How y'all doing?
Yeah, we got it. Like we promised y'all, we got a great show today. It's gonna be entertaining, funny. It's gonna be live. We have a comedian coming to us today. AD. Yes, right. Alonzo Bodden. Man, this has been a long time coming. You know what I'm saying? We got some other connections. There's some other comedians coming too, but this is gonna be a great show, man, because we've been watching a lot of his content. It's so funny. And when you take it back, you know, because we was always talking about how comedians, though they're funny, they make reality, you know, to make a reality making sense. And I think that's one of his one of his jokes he was saying about it's hard to outdo this crazy reality. Something of that sort of like that. So that was kind of crazy. I was looking at that, man, because just like shout out to the great Nas Born, he said, yo, man, the Joker was the Joker because the world is a circus right now. You know, everybody running around doing this and that, man. And sometimes you got to find a place where you can find a sense of humor. You need it right now.
Yeah.
You need a sense of humor. What other better way to have a great sense of humor than have a comedian? And I always said that, you know, before we started, man. Shout out to my man Born. Shout out to Ghostface. We used to make jokes all the time, man. And on a tour bus, you know, there's no other good pastime but than to laugh.
Yeah, that's
You know
real.
what I mean? Laugh. Shout out to the Podcraft group coming in. Brown.
Yep.
Who else? Let me see. What's that? Rich. Yeah, as y'all kind of come in, I'll start acknowledging y'all. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We be fast, but then things add up slow, man. What's up with Solo Gems? What you been doing?
Oh, it's good. You know what I mean? Just chilling. I love the fact that we have a comedian coming on because, you know, that's really my sense of humor. You know, the way how I look at the world. It's a funny place, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you know, you gotta laugh at reality. You know what I mean? You gotta laugh at the world because the world is crazy. We don't want to acknowledge it, but you know, but that's what's up. That's what's up. You know, but other than that, I've been really well. You know what I mean? Keeping myself good. You know what I mean? Keeping myself. You know, I've been very looking into my image a lot. You know what I mean? So feeling good, looking good. You know what I mean? Play good.
That's right. Summertime, man. It's time to get out. Peace, Brown Manson. He's coming in. He said, peace to the chat. Matt Walker, native New Yorker, stalker. He said, gingers are black now. My brothers, okay. All right, I feel you. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Man, I'm telling you, man. Who else is coming in? Great Googly Molly Ball. What's up? He says, peace. William Welsh, funny place, LOL. That's an understatement. Yeah, man. Come on. You gotta look at it like that, man. All the crazy shenanigans that's going on right now. You know, the media, it's like you get up, you just go right on and you see something that's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're arresting stars left and right. You know, they're arresting just moguls and, you know, people are making mistakes, women problems, you know what I mean? And they just making big mistakes. You know, boys, no, it was BBD said, never trust a big butt and a smile. But that's what's going on out there, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, I'm glad to get home. Just sometimes you want to be just home chilling. And if you want to go to a bar or something with your family, I mean, with your friends, or, you know, something real close, not getting too familiar or too caught up into too much stuff out there, because it's crazy right now. They knowing, you know, you got Mr. Sharp, Shannon Sharp. You got so much things that's happening. And they looking, man, targets out there, man. And sometimes they just don't be knowing. And you think you know the game, but then the game be like throwing a straw. It's different, man. It's just like, it's technology now. So got to be aware of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Danny Warrior, Salinas. We'll be seeing you at the end of the month. We'll be out there in Chicago. We'll be on the road. I got some dates coming up. And you coming there, though.
Where?
It's Montana.
Montana, yeah.
Montana, yeah, exactly. So we got some dates coming up. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah, man. Yeah. Rest in peace to the Holocaust. Yeah, he passed away. We've been hearing a lot of crazy stuff, man. With that 99 champ one, let's go, yo. Here we go. One love to you. One love. Man, they saying shout out to you. So Solo. Right. So we're gonna get it started, man, in a few minutes. Just I hope everybody weekend has been great, you know. And if you're still here, remain here. You know what I'm saying? It's 2025. It's getting live, no job. And music is coming. We got the T-shirts. You saw that. We got the Braxis 2 T-shirts. Yeah, he passed away, Minko. We have the new album coming. We have 3 new albums coming from the Killah Priest whole catalog. Also working on a priesthood, royal priesthood. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be a good summer. And I think that song, it fits good for the summer. Walk of Life.
Oh yeah, right.
Future solo gems, man. That was a lot of people tell us about that video, man. You got to remember, we did that video while we was just out there seeing the pyramids.
That's right.
And we was just out there. That was a bonus. Shout out to Heck, just going out there. But we were just walking around, checking the pyramids, checking the ancient artifacts, looking at all this great wealth of knowledge and artifacts that was even over here in Mexico. And it was brilliant. So we decided, let's shoot the video too. So that was a great look. So if you see us looking exhausted or we just here, just chilling, we did that right there and there. So sometimes great things come out of just things itself.
Oh yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, no, I had a good time in Mexico. That was a good time. You know, good to see the pyramids and everything like that. You know, making my world trips. They call me the world traveler right now. So my friends making jokes now. You know, they call me the world traveler. You know, but it's good though. You gotta get out. Gotta get outside, man. See the world. You know what I mean? I really do appreciate like moving around and stuff like that because you gotta see the world for what it is. You might learn something new. You might get a different perspective about life. You know what I mean? It's real healthy. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all get out the house. That's my biggest message right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Make sure y'all get out that house. You gotta pop out and show. You know, feel me? You gotta do your thing. You gotta, you know, that's real.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah. Yes, man. There's a lot of good stuff happening, man. I see everybody. I don't know. AD says something that was dope. Let me fix this mic. This is going to be a great summer. You can feel it in the air. Hope a lot of y'all feeling it too, man. Staying focused, being focused, trying to finish up most of the things that you haven't finished and trying to get it done. You know what I mean? So you can put that away and you good to go.
Yeah.
Word. Yeah. So I said, let my hair grow out a little bit. They didn't see me with this.
You getting there, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Word. So I said I'm going to switch it up a lot this time. We're going to Demon Slayer, slay it up. You know what I'm saying? AD, they said stand up, AD. All right, man, without further ado, do we have anybody in the back? Okay, man, this is going to be great, man. Man, yo, man, this is going to be great. We're about to bring them on right now, man. So, Podcraft, warm welcome. Light, all light. And put all your energy. Let's get ready to laugh, man. Man, Alonzo Bodden, we have him right here coming to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Alonzo Bodden, man. Make some noise.
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
Let me tell you
Peace.
something, man. You guys decide to have a podcast while the Mets are playing the Yankees. You're killing me.
Yeah, I know.
Time
my
like
fault.
that, right?
Yeah.
Man. Oh yeah. Also the Knicks just won, right?
Yeah.
Knicks just won, and OKC won today. So this is a great time of year for sports. You know, NBA playoffs, baseball season.
Yeah.
Getting into it. So yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah, man. Almost like
Real.
20 years, man. We went to about 20 years before the Knicks even showed up. Winning a game like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think since the Ewing era, right?
Right.
So, yeah, 20 something, coming up on 30.
Right, yeah. As long as I've been alive, that's real.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Don't remind me how old I am, man.
Man, matter of fact, man, let's just get into it, man. Yo, how was it? I know you're from New York originally, right?
Grew up in Queens, yeah, man.
Hey, man, tell us a little bit how it was growing up.
So I grew up in St. Albans. Let's see, what's it like growing up in St. Albans? Well, the first thing you learn for the rest of New York, okay, to anyone not from New York, you ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. But I had to take 2 trains and a bus to get to the city.
Right.
See, most of the city, you just get on the train. So we lived out in Queens. We had to take a bus. Therefore, all my boys from the Bronx, from Brooklyn, whatever, thought I was rich because I had a backyard. They were very jealous of my lawn. That's right. I grew up with a lawn. So it was nice, man. You know, working class Black neighborhood is the best way I could describe it. You know, that was it. New York in the 60s, man. New York in the 60s and 70s was a different New York than it is now.
Man.
Now I ain't afraid to go to Brooklyn. I wasn't going to Brooklyn in 1977. You kidding?
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. That's my hometown as well, man. Brooklyn, man. Whoa, man. Oh, so tell us, man, how did you get into comedy?
Well, okay, so you're making a big jump here.
Yeah.
But I'll take you on the ride.
Right.
So in New York, back in the day, back in the 70s in New York, we had high schools for everything, right? You had, you know, automotive high school, aviation. Everyone knows performing arts. That's fame. That's the famous one. But anything you wanted to learn, you could learn in high school.
Right.
So I got into aviation high school. I wanted to be an airplane mechanic. My dad's friend did it for a living. I was always like mechanical stuff. So I went to aviation high school, right? So I graduate from aviation and I get hired by Lockheed Aircraft in Burbank. So that's when I moved to LA and loved LA from the moment I got there. You know, I like the vibe. I'm a car and motorcycle nut. All of that goes on in LA. And they hired a bunch of guys. I mean, hundreds of guys from my high school. So we kind of just migrated to LA, right? And I started my career in aircraft. So the one thing about aircraft, you work, like company has a big contract, you build a bunch of planes. By the way, the first plane I worked on was the F-117, which at the time, this is comical. At the time we built it, it was the most top secret aircraft in America. It was the first stealth airplane. And we were laughing because we were like, do they know a bunch of high school kids are building this thing? But
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Wow.
but
that's
anyway,
dangerous.
after 10 years bouncing around in the aerospace industry, I was teaching. I was training new mechanics. Now, I've always been able to make people laugh, but I had never been in front of people. And they say the biggest fear people have, right, is talking in front of a group. So when I got up in front of the class, for me, it was the most natural thing in the world. It was, I wasn't nervous or anything. So, you know, you combine those two together, right? You combine being able to make people laugh and being comfortable in front of people, and you have a comedian. So that is the short story of how I became a comedian. I did not include the part about rehab.
Okay. Gotcha.
Wow.
Which I will tell you. No, I will tell you because this is a definite part of my story, right? So, you know, it was the 80s, man. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to make cocaine was part of the 80s. I got caught up, you know, cocaine early 80s, crack mid 80s. I went to rehab. This was in 1988. And at that time, all the stars went to a place called Betty Ford, Well, I ended up in a place called Studio 12 where all the crew went. I went to rehab with like cameramen, makeup artists, wardrobe, all the behind the scenes people. But what they did for me, besides helping me get sober, and I'm still clean 37 years later, what they did for me was they showed me I could do anything I want. I could have fun. I could be creative. And that's really what led to the comedy career, being around people who were in a creative environment, an artistic environment, and who enjoyed their jobs as opposed to just going to work for a paycheck was a huge, huge change in my life. And they're the ones who gave me I don't know if courage is the right word, but let's call it encouragement to chase my dream of comedy.
Man,
That's real.
That's beautiful, man. Because once you think you're down, you think you're down and out. It's like a blessing came out of that.
Yeah, I talk about it, man. Things that you think are the worst thing that can happen, or things that you think are bad, will quite often turn out to be good. And it's also, a lot of people ask me about switching careers, right? Because it's a big switch from an airplane mechanic to a comedian. But
that's a joke in itself, no fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a huge switch.
Right.
But the thing is, had I not bottomed in addiction, I may not have had getting the exposure, but also I had nothing to lose. I had nothing to lose, right? It was like I've already blown up that career. Now, mind you, I could have gone back into aerospace. I went back into it for a while, but now it wasn't the same because now I'd been exposed to some other stuff and things I wanted to do. I know this interview ain't funny. We'll get to the funny part, but
yeah, that's real.
That's real.
That's how we like it. We like it real, coming from the grain. And where was the addiction at? Just want to ask you, like, was it in L.A. or New York?
It was L.A. I lived in L.A. I've lived in L.A. Let's see, from 1980 to last year, to 2024. So yeah, it all took place in L.A. in the 80s. I'll tell you another big difference between LA and New York, right? You get to LA, especially in the mid to late 80s, that was when the gang thing took, the Crips and the Bloods, and it was insane how violent LA was, right? And how many people were getting shot and this and that. And I was like, man, I grew up in New York. In New York, if you wanted to buy drugs, it was safe. You just went. They didn't want nobody shot out front. It was business.
Wow.
And it really was, it as crazy as this sounds, it was a whole different vibe in LA because New York, later on the crack epidemic took over the whole country. And I tell people now, they say, like, what's crack? Like, crack is like opioids without the sympathy, right? They didn't feel sorry for us at all.
Wow.
But it was a crazy, violent, insane time. And when I look back, I'm lucky as hell, man. On any given moment, I could have got busted. I could have got popped. And as you guys know, back then, especially in the 80s when Reagan was doing all his war on drugs and all that nonsense, if they caught a black person with crack, you'd be gone for 20 years, done. So I appreciate the fact I was lucky enough not to have gotten caught. Right. It's I don't know. It is what it is.
Man, that's crazy.
That's real.
Man, how did it feel? You came over here during like the birth of hip hop, starting in the Bronx and stuff. So did you feel like you missed out on it, or what was going on in the scene over here?
Listen, man, I told my mother for years. My mother and father, they were like, go to school, stay in school, study hard. I said, if you had let me hang out on the corner, I could have learned to rap. We could have done some hip hop. I'd have bought you 3 houses. But no, you wanted me to go to school. The thing about Southeast Queens, the St. Albans, Jamaica, Hollis, Cambria Heights, Rochdale, that whole area. If you look at the musical history of that area, it is insane. And I'm not just talking hip hop. I'm talking going back to when people like Miles Davis are from there, Lenny White, incredible jazz drummer, Marcus Miller, the incredible bass player and composer. And in hip hop, obviously, you know, you have Run DMC and LL Cool J and Ed Lover, and the list goes on and on. There was a tremendous, I don't know what it was. My brother and I joke about it, like something was in the water that we didn't drink because we didn't get no musical talent at all. But it was tremendous. And now I work a lot in the jazz world, and I work with a lot of musicians, and I meet people who are from the area and definitely know everyone from the area. It was, who knows what would have happened had I stayed in New York, but it was a crazy, crazy creative time from the late 70s through the 80s when hip hop was being invented, when they were literally creating a new genre of music, right? And it was happening on the streets, and Queens, especially Southeast Queens, was a big part of it.
Yeah. I had y'all problems with the Bronx. They didn't know the difference, and that sparked off that battle with Shan and KRS-One.
Right. Well, the funny thing about that was when, I think that's when the country learned about the different boroughs of New York.
Right.
Because the battles were in New York, right? You had the Bronx, you had Queens, you had Brooklyn. Right. It was like baseball in the 1950s, right?
Right.
Where New York was it was all going on, and it was all going on in New York. Obviously it grew and it spread, but at that time, people were learning places in New York that they had never heard of, right? I always say that St. Albans wasn't the hood until Fitty mentioned it. Then it was like, oh man, wait a minute. We had lawns. I had to mow. You can't mow the lawn. I had to mow the lawn every Saturday. How hood is that? I don't know.
Right. That's true, man. I was watching one of your comedy stand up, and you had this thing about little people. I know we can't say it. Is that a true story, man?
Well, it's based in truth. So, you know, this is the thing. The idea behind it, right, is all this talk about what you can and can't say and what comics can and can't say. Right. And I say, well, listen, we're part of society, right? So society changes and we change. So there are words that were used, you know, whether it be, and I'm just keeping it clean out of respect for your podcast. I don't know where where you guys are at, but we had like the M word for little people, right? F word for gay people, whatever. Right. And, you know, 40 years ago, that's how people were talking. Nobody's going to talk about that now. I mean, they talk about, you know, Eddie Murphy in the 80s. Well, Eddie wouldn't say the same things now that he said in the 80s. You know, they talk about it like there is some kind of word police. It's like, no, man, society progresses and we don't say things we use. You know, I'll give you an example. The Indians, right? They had all these cartoon images of Native Americans in sports, right? And then they were like, no, man, it's disrespectful. Don't do it. So we stopped doing it. Hopefully that's the progression of society. It's not some kind of word police limiting what you can do. As a comedian, we have to be a wordsmith. If you're a good comic, you can come up with another word and still be funny.
Right. Oh, man, there's so much to cover, man. Dang, I don't just want to go. I like this conversation the way it just keep going along. But you know, I know like Richard Pryor had a bad, terrible drug background, and he became one of the greatest. You know what I'm saying? And you know, sometimes things like that can push you to the forefront. Could you tell us? You brought up Eddie Murphy. Who are some of your influences?
Well, you know, the thing about Richard Pryor, and he's one of the few legends that I didn't get to meet. I never got to meet Richard Pryor, but he had a lot of demons, right? You know, the drugs and everything else. I mean, that was the unfortunate side of his life. And we know a lot of creative people, a lot of artists in all genres go through that. Richard was gifted. Richard had a brilliance that came from the street. And if you like, I'm a comic, so I study comedy. If you study comedy, a lot of people don't know. Richard Pryor started out, Bill Cosby was his hero. Richard worked clean for a long time. Richard was that. And then he kind of snapped and he went off and became Richard Pryor. And the world was like, we love it, you know, because it was who he genuinely was, right? So yeah, back in the day, you know, and listen, one of the worst things, I don't even know how to describe it, but Cosby destroyed his legacy. But back then he was one of the kings of comedy. So I watched him George Carlin, always one of my favorites. You know, if you watch George Carlin's clips now talking about society, you'd be like, oh, he's still alive, because that was in the news yesterday, right? Like Carlin was, I thought Carlin was the greatest social commentator, but now I'm gonna pass the torch to Chappelle. I'm gonna pass the torch to Dave.
Wow,
and
that's dope.
Dave's commentary, Dave always comes up with something that none of us thought about. I think that's the most brilliant thing about Dave. Like, as a comic, the best compliment you can give somebody, man, I wish I thought of that, you know? Dave always comes up with something where you're like, damn, where did that come from? So Dave was an influence. Robin Harris, the quickest mind I've ever seen. Robin would fire on you with nothing, just walk out and just destroy you. I love Robin. George Wallace. George taught me always right, always be right, and always be right. George, if you watch George Wallace, he always has a yellow pad under his arm because he's old and he doesn't understand computers, so he's still writing stuff down. You know, he's an old man. You got to give him, you got to give him some, you know, some leeway. But so those are some of the guys that I learned a lot from watching.
And most of them you work with, right?
Yeah. I've been lucky enough to work with all. I even got to open for Carlin. I opened for Carlin.
Wow.
I got to work with legends.
Crazy.
I got to work with Don Rickles once. I have a video. If you go to my YouTube, there's a video of Rickles ripping on me backstage. There's no higher honor in comedy than being destroyed by Don Rickles, you know? I got to work with Phyllis Diller, you know, I got to work with all of them. And then all of the big contemporary names. I got to work with Bernie once, but, you know, I'm not going to say I was working with him. He was hosting a show I was on. So I did get to meet Bernie Mac. I've worked with Wanda a number of times. Worked with Chris. I've worked with Dave, Kevin Hart. You name it, I've worked with them. And the thing I love about that, the thing I can honestly say, besides being brilliant comics, they're all good people. See, comedy, a big difference between comedy and acting is, like, you can come into comedy with any kind of ego. You know, you could have your resume. You starred in movies. You did TV, whatever. When you get on stage, the only question is, are you funny? It's the only question. And if you're funny, the love and the respect is there. Then it's not a matter of, oh, you made $10 million last year and I made $150. No, it's funny is funny. We respect that. We share that. We laugh about that. So I can honestly say it's been an honor to work with some of the biggest names in comedy. And I'm proud of the fact that I was able to work with the biggest names in comedy, because they will let you know if your ass ain't funny.
That's real.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet, man. Dang. Man, there was so much you were saying. I was like, who is generally funny, like, as a person? Just like being around them, and they say, man, this guy is just off the hook that you met.
So my mother was the funniest person I've ever known.
Right.
My mom was hilarious, and everyone who met her instantly said, "Oh, we see where you get it from." You know, my mom would say things like, you know, you asked my mom about women's lib. She was like, "Women? You mean white women's lib?" She said, "When you ever see a black woman fighting to go to work? I'm fighting to not go to work. I ain't marching to go to work." You know, things like that. Little quick things that she would always say that were always funny. I hope you guys still got me, because I lost you. Oh, there you go. Anyway, she was always really funny. And I don't know who said it. I don't know who to give the quote to, but there was some comic that said the difference between a funny guy and a comic is a funny guy can make his friends laugh. A comic can make 100 strangers laugh on cue. And that's the work to being a comic, being able to be in front of people and be funny repeatedly, because they paid money. They walked in. They expect you to be funny. You can't be in there and be like, well, I'm a little off tonight. No, you don't get that.
Wow. Wow. What's some of the preps before you go in front of the audience?
So it changes over time, right? Because when you start out, I mean, and I'm talking about when you start out raw, and I tell new comics this all the time, you got to memorize your act. You literally have to work on memorizing, because everyone thinks I got this. Then you're standing in front of people and there's a light on you and your mind goes blank. The first time I ever walked on stage, after my second joke, I was like, I did nothing. I mean, my mind is blank. So memorize it. You're always writing new stuff. different comics have different rituals. I like coffee. I like things that are going to bring my energy up because I'm a naturally low energy person. So I need to crank the energy up before I walk on stage. So I will do that. I will move around. I'll drink coffee. I'll do things to get the blood flowing and stuff like that. There are other people who are like total quiet meditation types there. But then sometimes it's fun to almost not be prepared. Right, to just be talking and then like you're next and then you go up. I love if I can go up and go right into the conversation of what we were talking about, right? So like the other night, I was hanging out with a brother named Robert Glasper. I don't know if you know Rob. He's a jazz artist. He's the guy combining hip hop with jazz, doing crazy great things now. Wow. And I work with him a lot. So we were at this club. And I asked him, I said, where's the green room? And he said, oh, it's right next to the ladies' room. So I had to ask a waitress, where's the ladies' room, right? So I went on stage, I said, it's a little uncomfortable when you ask a waitress, where's the ladies' room? And she's looking at you like, well, I can't ask, but, and it becomes a gender joke, right? Right. So moments like that are fun for me because it's literally, it happened right in that moment and it's funny and you could take it on stage.
Man, that's crazy. I was watching this stuff, like I said before, similarities, Jews and blacks, in New York. How that's different. Tell us a little bit more about similarity groups.
So and this is a funny one, right? Because I grew up, like I said, I grew up in St. Albans, but I was bused to school. I had to go elementary school in Whitestone, right? I was bused to school before it was an issue. So I grew up going to school with Jewish kids. So I've always been around Jewish people. And if you're in New York, you're around everybody. Everybody in New York's been around Black, Jewish, Puerto Rican, Middle Eastern, you name it, Italian, but whatever. It's all in New York. You're all going to run into it. But anyway, it's always been funny to me, the fight between Black people and Jewish people, because we have so much in common, right? Which starts with Cadillacs, and we got chicken. I recently found out their Passover is our Juneteenth. And my boy Elon Gold, a hilarious Jewish comedian, a friend of mine who I do shows with every year. Oddly enough, we do a Jewish Christmas show together. It's hilarious. Wow. Anyway, Elon said, you know what Blacks and Jews have in common? The name Leon.
Wow. That's crazy.
If you meet a Leon, he's one or the other, So
Right.
The beautiful thing about comedy, and this is what I love about comedy and comics, it crosses all those lines. I can't tell you how many green rooms I've been in laughing with a Jewish comic, him talking about being Jewish, me talking about being Black and whatever else. Or I came up with a lot of Latino comics. East LA is all Latino, all Mexican. We would literally, one of us would be on stage. I'd be on stage. They'd be yelling Black jokes at me. They go on stage. I'm yelling Mexican jokes at them because we know it's all love. It's all humor. And that humor crosses those lines. You know what I'm saying? It's people think you're saying the worst thing possible. It's like, no, man, this is love. You're funny because you do this. I'm funny because I do that. And so Black people and Jewish people, I mean, when you want to talk about persecuted, we could have a contest, right?
That's right.
So there is, and listen, I get the political side and I understand the bigger issues. Yeah. But in the comedy stage, we got to use those differences to make people laugh, to promote that side of it.
That's real. That creates unity too.
I'm sorry?
That creates unity too. Like that creates unity. That's real.
Absolutely. Because if you can laugh with somebody, you can understand that person, right? If you can laugh at that person with no hatred, I'm not looking down on you. I'm laughing because your culture does this and my culture does that. Yeah. Then you've knocked down that wall. And once you've knocked down, and this is why they don't want integrated schools. This is why they don't, because if you put Black kids and white kids together, and I'm talking kids, right? Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, you put them together, you can't teach them to hate each other. You can't, because they're playing together. You can't teach them that so and so is bad because, you know, his skin is this color or her name is that name or something, because we're friends at school, right? We, you know, so that's why the people who do hate and are in the business of hate, one of the first things they fight is the integration of schools.
Wow. Well, you learn stuff.
Man, I've done a ton of military shows. Shout out to the military, all branches. I love doing military shows, and I got to see the world entertained in the military.
Wow.
But you meet all kind of people, and I'll never forget. We met this guy. We were in Kuwait, and he was a cook. His name was Red. You know, red hair, white dude. Said he grew up somewhere in the hills of North Carolina, like deep in, you know, in that. And he said, man, everything they told me about black people was wrong. I love black people. They taught me to cook. And it was, but the way he said it, it was with the most genuine love. Like he really like found this group of people and learned everything he had been taught. Cause you know, we're talking deep South in the hills, you know what I'm saying? Taught to hate, went away soon as he joined the army, cause the army don't care what color you are. Right, they're gonna treat you all the same at the grunt level, you know, at the starting level, whatever. But the way he said it, if you could have heard the sincerity in his voice in that moment, you realize, yeah, if you put people together, they're gonna figure it out. And I've always been a big advocate of integrating schools, putting kids together. Once kids play together, you can't teach them to hate each other.
Man,
That's real.
I love that. Comedians with a message. And as we was always talking about, me and Salo, that comedians could bring so much light to the world through just laughter, but y'all get a serious side because it's like we laugh at stuff that's real, very etchy, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, our own mistakes and stuff is sort of like y'all make fun of the world that we live in, but we make these stupid rules up.
Yeah, I would have to look it up. It's a quote that I heard. And I'm not even going to guess who said it because I don't remember off the top of my head. But the quote was, if you're going to tell someone the truth, make them laugh or they'll kill you.
That's right. That's right.
Word.
Because like the time we live in now, right, with this whole right-wing MAGA movement and all this, the minute you say something, the other side wants to fight, right? There's no reasoning, there's no thinking. But if you make them laugh, then they have to stop and look and say, man, that's true. That is funny. That is stupid. You know, if you tell somebody we're going to add a tariff and lower the prices, they're like, wait a minute. What? Wait, you're going to add to the price and lower it? That don't make any sense, right? And now they can laugh at it. Now they can laugh at it and maybe take a little edge off of the anger, you know, and maybe they can fight over it long enough for me to buy everything new before the tariffs hit. I ain't lying, man. Car, motorcycle, tea, anything you're going to buy it right now because them tariffs going to push the price up.
All right.
Yo, you know, I never really thought about that, but it's you dropping it, that a comedian's job is real because y'all got to talk, interact with people, and y'all have so many things to worry about now, like culture, hookup, like genders and stuff like that. How do you get through that? I mean, like, how do you get through that, man? Like,
you know why? Because we don't.
Okay.
We don't worry about it because, again, if you're genuine and you're funny, right? If you're genuine and you're funny, people are going to laugh. I mean, and I don't remember which special it was, but Dave Chappelle talked about it, that they had all this hate on him, like he hates transgender people and this or that, the other. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm his best friend or something, but I know Dave, and you couldn't convince me of him hating anybody, right? But he talked about how he was doing the transgender jokes and there was a transgender person in the audience laughing harder than anybody else. And she came up to him after the show and they talked and this and that, you know what I'm saying? People can tell. I always said the audience is like, you know how a dog can sense if you're a good person or a bad person? A dog will walk, you know what I mean? Dogs have a sense, right? Crowd is like that. If I do a joke about white people, or I do a joke about Jewish people, or I do a joke about, you know, black people, or whatever, the crowd can tell if I'm joking or if I mean it.
Right.
If you go on stage and you say something about, like, listen, I have a whole thing about the hatred of transgender people. It's funny. I'll tell you why it's funny to me, because transgender people make up 0.7% of the population. You know what that is? That's practically nothing, right? Wow. So when you say, I don't want to go to the bathroom with transgender people, don't worry, you won't. There ain't that many of them, right? But I don't want no men in the women's bathroom. Have you seen the line for the women's bathroom? What man's gonna wait in that line when I could just walk in and pee in the men's bathroom? You understand? And I do these jokes. I have never received any hate or complaint or whatever from transgender people because they laugh. You know who gets mad about the jokes? The haters, the bigots, the whatever, because it points out how stupid they are. That's what gets mad at the joke. No, the other thing is, a comedy club is a unique atmosphere because anything goes. People want to hear funny. So when you talk about things like Lenny Bruce, right? This goes back to the 60s when they were accusing Lenny Bruce of being obscene, and they had a lawyer read his act in a courtroom. Of course it sounded obscene. That's not doing it in a club. If you took what we say on a comedy stage and just read it to somebody cold out of, they'd be like, damn, what the hell are they, you know what I'm saying? It's the atmosphere, right? The atmosphere allows for that. So, you know, all this talk of being canceled, I'm gonna tell you right now, to everyone watching your podcast, whatever, please, if you can cancel me, because every time Dave gets canceled, he gets another $10 million from Netflix. You understand? Wow. So just cancel me once so I can retire.
That's real. Yo. Nah. But that is a big problem in the world.
That's real, though. That's real.
No, I was saying, no, that's a big problem in the world. The cancel culture, because everybody's so quick to be all feelings.
But it's not. See, this is the thing. Don't believe the hype. It's not. What comic has been canceled that you haven't heard from?
Wow.
Wait, I have to think about that.
Give me one. Give me a comic who's gone.
Who's gone is that? Yeah, that's a good point.
The only one gone is Michael Richards from Seinfeld because he was never a comic to begin with. He was an actor doing comedy to make some money, right? People were paying to come see him, but he wasn't truly a comic. The cancel culture, you might have a minute where they're mad at you. You might, but your fans, like for everyone who hates you, somebody's gonna like you and somebody's gonna buy tickets because you know what I'm saying? And all of these comics you talk about, whether it be like, you know, Dave, like I said, Dave get canceled what, every year and a half?
I was gonna say Dave. I was gonna say him too.
Dave gets canceled every year and a half. Louis C.K. was canceled, then he sold out Madison Square Garden. You know, Bill Burr, they're mad at sometimes.
Bill Burr.
I would say,
Rogan. We hate Joe Rogan. Hey, Joe, here's $100 million.
Wow, that's a good,
That's real.
Yeah.
Speaking of Joe Rogan, he called out Carlos Mencia.
Yes, years ago.
And I haven't heard from Carlos Mencia in a while.
Wow.
Carlos Mencia has a regular show here. I live in Vegas now. He has a regular show at the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club in Vegas. I think it's every Monday night. No, he's not gone.
Nice.
Mencia, as a matter of fact, Carlos Mencia got his TV show after Joe said he stole jokes.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now,
you're right.
I'm not going to get into a fight between Joe Rogan and Carlos Mencia. That's between the two of them. But my point is, when this, I don't know, society, the news, whatever you want to call it, whenever they say so-and-so is canceled, I'm like, are they gone? Are they gone?
Sure, that's a good point.
What was her name? Kathy Griffin. Remember Kathy Griffin got canceled for carrying that headless Donald Trump? He sold out theaters for 2 years after that.
Wow.
For 2 years.
Yeah. Wow. I like that. Yeah. Wow.
You know who's playing close on the edge right now is Bill Burr.
Oh,
I love Burr. Burr is brilliant.
Yeah.
Burr is a brilliant comic. Yeah. He's a hell of a nice guy. He is one of the smartest people you will ever meet.
Hilarious.
A lot of people are mad at Bill Burr for telling the truth.
I love it.
Right? We backed Luigi. Listen, we all backed Luigi when Luigi, killed that healthcare guy. We're not happy the guy got killed, but we're like, point out that healthcare, the executives are a bunch of criminals and responsible for the deaths of thousands of people.
Right.
You know, when LA was on fire, you know, that area, I lived right near there when I lived in LA. I knew, and it was just like Bill Burr said, suddenly everyone on the internet knew how to put out a fire. You don't know a damn thing about putting out a fire. I know firefighters in LA, right? I happen to have Clipper tickets. The guys in front of me were firefighters. They were like, man, the fire was blowing. The wind was moving the fire. Fire is blowing at 100 miles an hour. You think a hose and a fire hydrant's gonna put that out? Shut the hell up. So the thing about Burr, the only thing I don't like about Bill Burr is he gets to say it louder than me, so everyone thinks he thought of it. I thought of it too, Bill. Love that guy.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
Cancel. What did I tell you? Tell the truth, make them laugh. They get mad, right? So
Right.
Bill Burr tells the truth. And I'll tell you another thing Bill Burr does that they say, oh, no white comic can make fun of black people. Bill makes fun of black people. You know why? Because Bill got no hate for black people. And Bill finds funny things that black people do and white people do, just like a black comic will find funny things that white people do and black people do.
That's real. That's real. That's comedy. Man, that's crazy.
Somebody I see in your
Chat.
I'm watching your conversation.
Right.
Somebody put Dane Cook up there. Dane's an old friend of mine. Dane's his career changed, his audience changed. I think Dane's sitting on like $50 million. So once again, hate me. Please hate me. If I had $50 million, you think I'd be talking to you too? I'd be at the game. You understand? I'd be watching the Mets play the Yankees if I had $50 million.
That's real.
Come on. Cancel me.
Yeah.
That's real. Man.
No, it works like that sometimes, man. That's good.
The other thing that happens when people talk about guys like Dane Cook and so on, you know, it's generations, right? Like, there, you know, 20 years ago, I was working in clubs that I'm not working in now because there's another generation that's come along and they're working in the clubs, and that happens. And in comedy, you find other niches, you find other places to go. Like I said, for the past 10 years, man, I've been having so much fun working in the jazz world with jazz musicians, jazz festivals, this or that, you know, and that's where I've been. I still do stand up a lot. I still do clubs and I tour, but that's a whole part of my career that a lot of people don't know. You know?
Wow. I'm just finding that out. Do you play?
Oh no, man, no talent whatsoever. That's why I'm there making fun of them. I gotta keep them humble. Don't let them get caught.
No, they go together, man. They go together. I was going to ask you that. So, on one of your jokes, you was talking about conservatives and Southern people and their belief, their religious beliefs. That was kind of funny. What sparked that?
Well, you know, and this, you want to talk about a touchy subject, and I always do it in my act. After I do politics, I'm like, let's relax and talk about religion.
Right.
The problem we have with religion and Christianity today is it has nothing to do with Jesus, nothing to do with the teachings of Jesus, if you believe that. Now I'm not telling you what to believe, because I've been fortunate enough to travel all around the world, you know, and you go to Asia, there's billions of Buddhists. So I'm not going to say you guys are wrong, right? Believe what you want. But if you follow the teachings of Jesus, like, Jesus wasn't big on money, right? Jesus was like, the last people going to heaven were the money changers. Jesus, he wasn't happy with rich people. You know what I'm saying? And Jesus, he liked immigrants. You know why? Because he was an immigrant. Jesus was a refugee wandering around. You know what I'm saying? So when I make fun of religion, it's not religion, it's the business of religion and the hypocrisy of religion. There are true Christians out there. There are people out there helping people and who care about people and so on, and bless them and great for what they're doing and what they believe in. But I'm talking about the people in the business of religion and the business of hate. And, you know, I know the Southern people love to say, oh, that flag is our culture. Yes, it's a culture of hate. Yes, that's what it was. And they've used religion as a cover to power hatred from slavery to today.
Man.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
Oh, man. That's why I'll tell you, man, I love comedians. George Carlin used to talk a lot about that.
Oh, used to destroy the church. And he's right. I mean, listen.
Right.
Joel Osteen lives in a $10 million house. Now, you know, I'm pretty sure Jesus would have settled for a $5 million house and helped somebody out. Come on now. You ain't need a $10 million house.
real.
You don't need 12 Ferraris. I'm sure 5 will do. You know?
Yeah.
Getting around Jerusalem with the with your head.
I've been to Jerusalem. You can't drive a Ferrari in Jerusalem. It's too small and too crowded. Yeah, you can't. So Jesus would have got there walking while you sitting in traffic in your Ferrari.
Right. right.
Yeah.
Oh man. This is cool, man. Ladies and gentlemen, man, the great Alonzo Bodden. If you're just tuning in, we up here, man. We just going in. I heard someone say in the chat room something about Dolomite. Have you ever met Dolomite?
No, I didn't get to meet Dolomite. Eddie's movie about him was brilliant, and from what I understand, very accurate. And that was an era. See, that was an era when comedy. You didn't have comedy clubs. Comedy was more of an underground thing, and one of the places that did a lot of comedy back in those days, when you go back to the era of Red Fox, Dick Gregory,
right?
Those guys, you know where they did comedy? In jazz clubs.
Wow.
Because jazz clubs were the places that allowed it. You know, there weren't any comedy clubs in the 50s or 60s. Comedy clubs didn't come around till the 70s, and the early comedy clubs, they were not allowing black people, you know, black comics into the clubs in those days. I think it was the Playboy Club when they let Dick Gregory on stage. That was like the first time they let a black comic perform in a white venue in front of white people. You know,
wow.
It was like everything else, man. Unfortunately, like everything in America's history, right? Segregated, and then someone does it, and then they find out, oh, wow, nobody's head exploded. They lived. They even laughed. Now we can do it. Then they found out, oh, wow, there's money in it. You know, the Kings of Comedy. You know why the Kings of Comedy opened up Hollywood?
Yeah.
Because that tour made $50 million, and the one color Hollywood really loves is green. And they were like, man, we didn't know, you know, that Bernie Mac and DL and Cedric and Steve, we didn't know they were selling tickets like this. We didn't know they were filling arenas. Those guys were filling arenas every night.
Wow.
And then it was like, oh, we got to get them on, you know. And again, I don't have a hatred for it, but I understand it. You know what I mean? It's business.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
so
that's real.
guys like Dolomite, you know, or those old Red Fox comedy records, Moms Maidley,
I was about to say.
all of those comics, you know, they didn't get the shots that we got because the comedy clubs didn't exist. There wasn't a place for them to perform.
Right. Wild Man Steve. What was it? Wild Man Steve. My boy.
Oh, there were a bunch of them.
Yeah. Wild Man Steve.
And out of all of them, you know, very few got a chance. I'll tell you somebody that people don't talk about who not only was a brilliant comic, but was one of the first brilliant businessmen was Flip Wilson. A lot of people don't know Flip Wilson owned his show. And at that time, to be a black person and own your show, you know, the reason Seinfeld's a billionaire because he owned his show, right? That when you sell the show, when the show airs, you get that big check. And Flip Wilson did that himself. So shout out to Flip Wilson. Brilliant.
Man, that's a name that I didn't hear in a long time, man. Flip Wilson.
Yeah, but you know, okay, and I joke about it in my act though. Like they talk about all this transgender stuff, and you know, this is going to influence the children. I watch Geraldine every week. I ain't never want to hook up with Geraldine. Geraldine ain't never influenced me. I watched Geraldine, I laughed, and then I turned to Charlie's Angels and wanted to hook up. Okay. So.
Real talk, man. Real talk.
Yo.
This is beautiful, man. Oh man. Hey, it's been great, man. We got any questions?
Yeah, I mean, I would say how you conquer like stage fright. Like, how you do that?
Like I said, it was a natural thing. I was comfortable going on stage, so I am most at home on stage. I will tell you this, and this is probably true of a lot of comics. I'm more comfortable talking to a crowd of 100 people than I am one stranger. Most comics, we're pretty much introverted when we're not on stage.
Wow, that's crazy. That's like a movie I want to read. I want to write about. That's kind of dark, like because you would think of the opposite, like comics like a whole bunch, but they really into
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Talk to the wife or girlfriend. I can't speak to the women comics and the men. I can't speak to how that relationship works, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you talk to the wife or girlfriend of any comic, they will tell you there is a dark side. They're like, oh no, he ain't funny all the time.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I heard Richard Pryor's wife say that. Well, his wives, a couple of them.
Yeah, his wives. Yeah, that's the little hint right there.
That's right.
When Bill Burr talks about his wife, it's hilarious. You know what I mean? Because he talks about how she'll nag and be like da, 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 and everything. I wonder how true that is, but it's
His wife
interesting.
is a phenomenal person, so you know,
Nice.
she's laughing with it, and I'm sure if that joke goes too far, it'll cost him a diamond. Or something like that. She's a brilliant woman and a phenomenal person.
Wow. That's cool.
Hey, Alonzo, are you into astrology?
Not really. The only thing, I'll tell you what I know about astrology. I'm a Gemini.
Right.
And the minute you tell a woman you're a Gemini, they're like, oh no. And then they give you their horrific Gemini story. So that's as much as I know.
That's real. That's real. I'm a Gemini too. That's funny. I get that a lot too.
Yeah, you know, right?
Yeah.
Every woman, the minute they hear oh, you one of them.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Actually, I'm two of them.
What's the date? What's the date?
June 13th.
That's real. That's real.
Hey, man, big up, big up.
That's the thing. The Geminis have the genius and Gemini genius. You know what I'm saying? Tupac, even, you know, as crazy as Kanye might be, or Ye, he still kind of has a genius mind. You know what I'm saying? But it's the ability to communicate that they have, and the ability to absorb information.
Right.
Well,
right.
I'll tell you the unfortunate one with that. Trump.
Oh, he's a Gemini?
Yeah, Trump's a Gemini too.
Wow.
But he does not have the ability to absorb information. He only got half of it.
Man.
But he's a con man. He's a con man, and that's the gift of gab, right? You mentioned religion. I've always said that if a comedian wanted to do one of those, you know, mega church money making things, any comedian could do that. We have the ability to talk and attract people, right? That's what they do. They attract people, and then they make it, and then they're like, oh, I need $40,000 or I can't leave. I'm gonna try that next Friday at the Laugh Factory. I need $40,000 or I can't leave the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
Which point they'll be mad if you don't get the hell out of here. You $50 and you keep walking. You know?
That's right. Yeah,
So lately you've been doing radio. I've been checking that out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where can we catch you at?
Well, you know, the great thing about doing radio is no one listens to the radio anymore. I'm a brilliant editor. I'm kidding. I do a lot of stuff with NPR, public radio, a show called Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. For a while, I was doing talk radio with Tavis Smiley, and Tavis still has his station in LA, and shout out to Tavis. He gave me a shot. It was cool. There were a number of reasons I couldn't do it, mainly because as a comic, you travel a lot, which makes it hard to do a, you know, daily radio show. So mainly my stuff is with NPR.
Okay. All right. That's dope. Man, what you miss? Do you like it more doing radio or standing up?
Oh, there's nothing like stand-up. There's nothing like stand-up. I am a comic through and through.
Yeah.
You know, looking back, there was a time when I was taking acting classes, and I learned enough about acting to find out what a bad actor is. And, you know, you'll see in my acting career, I've played security guard and or bouncer for everybody, and you know, very typecast. I joke about it, but it's fun to do. Right. But I'm a comic, and my acting coach was at a stand-up show that I did, and she actually said to me, she said, "Go do that. That is what you do." And then I found out how much actors get paid, and I've hated her ever since. No, I'm kidding. It's nothing like being on stage. It's the most creative place in the world. I love a stand-up stage. And real, like true comics can never give it up. You know, that's what I love about people like Chris Rock, right? Or Kevin Hart, who, you know, they're doing movies. And
yourself, man. Yourself.
Millions and millions of dollars, right? But they always come back to stand-up. They always have to do stand-up because it's in them to be a comic. Chris is a comic. He can't, you know, Chris could do 100 movies and he's still going to have to fit stand-up in somewhere because he's a real comic.
Wow.
Right.
And that's true of others. Wanda, you know, Wanda Sykes is I don't think she gets as much credit as she should, as much as she does. People know her, but Wanda is a beast. Wanda been funny for a long ass time. I love Wanda. I opened for Wanda a few times. I was like, I could do this forever. Love working with her.
Right.
Women, there are tons of funny women that don't get the respect they should. I think that's the one.
Give me two of them. Give me two.
Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones.
Leslie is a beast. Wanda.
Yeah.
Yamanika Saunders. Are you kidding? I was just hanging with Yamanika the other day. Yam is hilarious. Jack Fabulous. And so many more. My friend Liz Mealy.
Right.
The list goes on and on. There are tons of funny women. Michelle Wolf. Michelle Wolf killed it. Michelle Wolf was so funny with the Daily Show and all that stuff. Yeah, lots of women.
Yeah. I like Ellen when she was doing it. She was out there, right? Yeah, man, that's heavy. Man, so when the next time you gonna be on the road, like at next shows or something?
Next week, and actually for the next few weeks, I'll be doing Canada, which is a whole other thing that's super fun. I was at Halifax 2 weeks ago at the Halifax Comedy Festival. This coming week, I'm heading to Montreal, and in the first week of June, I'm in Toronto and Thunder Bay. Canadians are incredibly smart people with an incredible sense of humor, and calling them the 51st state was like the most politically, like they came together and went liberal. They were like, what? And I mean, literally Canada was like, are you out of your mind? Canada has its own identity. I've been working in Canada for close to 30 years now, man. I love going up there. Smart, funny people. And I'll take the Underground Railroad to get to Canada. Damn right.
Yeah.
Man, that's that's kind of. You ever do comedy in London?
Yes, yes. I've worked the Comedy Store, and I think the other place was called the Underground. I've done comedy everywhere in the world they speak English. Anywhere they speak English, I've been lucky enough to work.
That's right.
British comedy is great. Very smart people, very dry. British people either like really dry, smart comedy or silly, crazy, silly gag comedy like Monty Python stuff, or Benny Hill. It's one or the other. But I've done Ireland. I've been to Australia. I've been to, all over the world doing it. Love it.
That's a beautiful life. Have you ever thought about, do you have any books out on yourself? Or?
I haven't written the book. People have asked me repeatedly to write the book. I should have just recorded this podcast and transcribed it. There's a discipline to writing a book versus writing jokes that I need to work on, but it's something, and I'm also trying to figure out which book I want to write, because there's kind of two parts to my life that I can talk about. But thank you for that, and it'll happen. It'll happen one day.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely going to get that book, man.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
So let us know who's winning, man. Is the Yankees? I'm gonna let you get back to your game.
Yeah,
Yankees.
I gotta look over here. I think the Yankees are winning, which makes it a bad game.
Oh yeah, you rep Mets, right? Yeah, you rep the Mets.
Shout out to the Mets. I grew up in Queens. I'm a Mets fan.
That's real.
The Mets. But what's the ending?
Good for the Yankees. They'll do great. Then they'll get to the World Series, and Aaron Judge will forget how to hit.
That's a good point.
I know. It was bad last. It was bad last year. But shout out to the Dodgers, man. That's where we at.
Well, hey, listen. The Dodgers did it last year. That was so when I moved to LA, the only LA team I adopted was the Clippers.
The Clippers.
Okay.
Been a Clipper fan. Everything else, I stayed with New York. I'm still a Met fan. I'll definitely I'll pull for the Knicks now. The Knicks are having a run.
They're having a run.
Historic run. Hopefully they make it to the end. But
get me on the bandwagon. I'm trying to look at it. I was like that even on air.
I try not to take them too serious. I'll be happy for New York. That's how I am too. Same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's fun. Listen, it's fun for the city. They showed Game 7. They showed how many people were outside, just outside of the Garden and all in Manhattan going nuts. That kind of thing. It's good for the city. So good for them.
Yeah.
Need it really badly. They need it really badly.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna get ready to let you go, man. And I had a great time building with you, man.
This was fun, man. I loved it. Loved meeting you guys. Your backdrop. I mean, that looks real. It looks like a real city.
That's the guy who always keep popping in. He's popped in. AD, he's the engineer. He does all of that stuff, man.
No, that looks good. I'm trying to remember the name of that round hotel. That's downtown LA. I can't remember the name of it, but I know it's iconic down there. So
the tallest building.
Like I say, I was there forever. Me and my boy talk about how dumb we were. We should have bought a parking lot in downtown LA 30 years ago when you could have got it for nothing. And then,
Wow.
But it is what it is.
And now it's popping. Issa Rae has a club out there now on the rooftop. That's kind of
pretty
dope.
nice.
Yeah.
I know there's another club down there I did called Upstairs Comedy Club. That was downtown LA also. So downtown it is popping now, and for the longest they couldn't get anything down there. But,
Wow. Such rich history. Man. Oh man, well, dang. AD, you got any questions?
No, I was just wondering. I don't know if you already answered it though. If he's considering doing his own podcast or doing his own movies eventually.
I did a podcast. You can still find it. It was called "Who's Paying Attention." I did like 300 episodes. So it started out. It was just me talking. It started out with me talking about the news stories behind the jokes because I love doing topical jokes, and I would talk. And then it kind of evolved into my opinions on all kind of things. And there were a few periods where I had guests, but mostly it was just me thinking out loud, and people seemed to like it. So I did that for years. So it was called Who's Paying Attention. I haven't started another one. I'll be honest with you. You know what happened with the podcast? Got tired of talking about the same thing because unfortunately, as a society, we're not moving forward, right? We're still fighting the same fights, whether it be racism, sexism. Now, once again, we're mad at the immigrants and blaming them for whatever, and on and on. Healthcare is still broken. And, you somehow working people are voting for billionaires to lower their taxes. And I just got tired of talking about the same thing over and over. I wish our society would settle those and develop some new problems. But I may get back into podcasting. I definitely appreciate you guys having me on. And this is it's a great way to talk. It's a great medium. But
you probably have a good enough network too to like do a movie, because you always need movies.
Yeah.
It's like,
network is one thing, money is the other. If you could cost me like $2 million, I'd be happy to make a low budget movie.
Do a low budget and shoot it right to Netflix.
$2 million is a low budget movie.
Right.
I mean, because you look at the movie like How High with Method Man and Redman.
Somebody just put
that was a success.
Kim Whitley.
Fun. That was fun. Yeah,
Women's
was a
Comics,
success.
Lonnie Love. There's so many funny women out there. Kim is hilarious.
Which Kim?
Kim Whitley.
Kim Whitley. I gotta get.
And Sherry Shepherd. I met Sherry back in the '90s. Man, look at what she's doing now. Sherry's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's true. They had different type of styles. Yeah.
Yep.
I like the styles. Wu says, does it cost that much? Yeah, $2 million. Well, we got an animator, my man Dave Flores, man. Maybe we could talk some animation.
Do an animation?
Yeah, animation. I've been
that's what Chris Rock did.
Yeah.
With everyone hates Chris.
Right.
And he has a part 2 coming out now.
He do.
Yeah. The next season or something.
Wow.
It's called Everybody Still Hates Chris.
Right.
That's got it. Oh, that's wild.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. Let's check that out, man.
And then Bill Burr had his animation.
Yep. Burr did his cartoon about his family growing up, his dad being a working class dad and all that. Yeah, that was a funny series.
I think that
Keep naming other comics that are richer than me. Get this guy off the screen. I don't need to look at him anymore. Just keep naming bigger names than me. Who the hell I know engineers bigger than you. What about that?
That's true. See, now I'm honored because I know what it's like you said earlier.
Alonzo Bodden.
I'm like, what about this guy?
That's real. Yeah.
Keep reminding me. You just
Hey.
throwing out the names of millionaires, man.
We got the animator though. The whole
He's talking
point
to
is,
a backup point guard. Just be sitting up there. Yeah, you know, LeBron's pretty good. Yes, Steph makes pretty good money. Hey, have you ever heard of KD? Shut up. I'm on the bench trying to make a living. All right?
yeah. I just like to brainstorm ideas.
That power right there. No. Oh,
Get that
my
animated.
goodness. Yeah, that was King. Yeah, we get it animated.
Got him.
Yeah, Lord.
You should get animated. You ever hear Bugs Bunny? Yeah, it worked out well for him. Yeah, thank you.
It's love, man.
Oh,
It's
man.
funny.
Yeah, it's love, man. Man, Alonzo Bodden, man. Where can we catch up with you?
AlonzoBodden.com is the website where everything comes out of that. ZoFunny on Instagram, on TikTok, it's all ZoFunny, but they're all connected. So you know how social media is. You find one, you find them all. So if you just Google comic Alonzo, it's going to be either me or Cristela Alonzo, and she is a pretty Mexican woman, so I'm not her.
That's right.
Yeah, just AlonzoBodden.com or ZoFunny, ZoFunny. You'll find me.
Yeah, AD will put that up in there, man.
Yeah.
We want to thank you, Alonzo Bodden, once again, my brother.
definitely.
One day we're going to have you come back on, man, and build with us. See how it goes. See who won that game.
Let me tell you something. The game is tied. This is a perfect time to say goodbye to you. So
Hey, we want to say peace to you, man. Thank you for coming on to the podcast.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on. The next time I come on, I'll expect a new engineer on the board. Yeah, he's you gotta go. Get off the screen.
That's
He's
it.
arrogant. Go away. Where's the delete?
Dude, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on. You guys take care.
Amen. Yeah, man.
That was great. That was great. AD, you always get into it.
Yo, that's.
I'm honored.
But you got into it with R.A. the Rugged Man.
No, that was different though. R.A. was being sloppy. This was a real comedian.
Yeah, he was great.
You know,
Yeah, he was great. He
doing it
was great.
solid.
I don't think because
I feel honored.
Yeah.
Part of that.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
different.
Yo, man.
Funny.
He killed it.
Yo, that was scripted,
Yeah.
y'all. That was funny. And AD came through. Oh man, but what was his name? Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, but what's his name? Come on, man. My man. Give it to me, chat.
Yeah.
Come on, Fallen State. Fallen State. He was trying to line you up too. And that was kind of crazy, but that was classic. Shout out to Ben Frank. I see you in the building.
Man, yo.
Ben Frank. WS Banker. Already Rugged Man. Yeah, he might be looking. He said it was slot. But y'all too, that was funny. That was good. He was scared. What was he
Alright, the
getting?
Rugged Man was just doing this New York type of busting your balls type of thing. You know what I mean?
No,
That was different. It didn't have punchlines. It wasn't funny. That's a real comedian. Like it was nice.
Yeah.
He did it right.
So,
I liked it. We could have gone on. I could have kept it going.
Yeah. They hear a voice or something?
Yes. SOS.
oh, shoot.
Who's that?
That's
Oh, Z, yo, where you was at, Z? Shout out to Souls in the building.
Yo.
Yeah, that was funny. I wish he came a little earlier, man. What up, Z? You hear us?
Yo, my fault, y'all.
Yo, what's good?
Yo, you just
I
missed
know
it.
it's been a minute.
Yeah, man.
I know I've been ripping and running,
Yeah.
Yeah.
ups and downs.
Yeah.
My probation thing gonna be all right though.
Yo.
Yo.
What up, y'all? What up? Shout out to the crowd.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you,
Yeah.
man. What's good with you?
Nothing chilling. Just taking in the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, how you feel about
Yeah,
that?
the Knicks going to the conference finals in first time in 25 years. So it's been a little crazy in the city.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
bet.
Nah, I believe it.
I bet.
You know what's going to happen if they win the finals, right?
Oh, it's gonna be
we be there.
mass destruction.
Everybody get a free week of and free month of work off. Nobody goes to work.
Yeah. Is that free month of
Yo.
work? Yeah. Rent paid.
Yo.
rent on the house.
Yeah. People drunk in the streets.
I think you froze up, Z.
Nah, he right.
Nah, he froze.
Everybody's works going back.
Yeah, I know you're going in and out.
Ready or not, you beat your landlord up.
Oh, it's gonna be a funny.
Yo.
It's gonna be hilarious. Yo,
Yeah.
I think you froze.
Yo,
Nah.
I'm froze.
Yeah.
Yo.
There you go. Yeah, you back.
Yo.
Yeah. Yo, we was just cracking up, man. I wish you would have came just a little bit earlier, man.
Yeah,
We
you
had a
missed.
comedian
Mr. Comedian came on.
yeah.
Alonzo.
Yeah. Alonzo Bodden, you catch him out
Yeah.
there, man.
No, I seen it.
Yeah.
I was outside getting my Chinese food.
Hey, that's you got to. White plastic fork or spoon. Both.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the
You
iced
know how
tea.
that
Come
go?
on.
Yeah, that's right.
Legendary. Yo, you get that put on the Western. Yeah, you get
He
put
said-
that anywhere, man. You got to know about that.
Yo.
White plastic fork or white plastic spoon. Oh, you sometimes you
Yeah,
get.
with this right here.
I
Oh
went
yeah, you got the lemonade.
See, the AD they don't know about that.
Yeah, I went lemonade on them.
Lemonade.
Oh, I know about the lemonade.
You do
Nah.
from
Yeah.
China? From a Chinese spot?
Nah.
Nah, not from a Chinese spot. I know about the grape drink from Soul Food.
The grape.
Great drink.
That
Yeah, you
shit
gonna
was
say-
fire, bro. I had no idea.
You had grape drink?
Yeah,
Yo.
Grape drink.
this girl took me
They
through
put
the
the Jolly
hood.
Ranchers in it.
This girl, she took me through the hood. It was good. It got soul food. I ordered the meatloaf.
Hold on,
She's
see?
like, "Why you want meatloaf?"
Yo.
I like meatloaf, so I got the meatloaf, right?
Yeah.
I didn't get the collard greens or anything like that, but I got. I'm like, let me get the grape juice, please. Grape juice. Anyway, they gave me the purple drink. Fire.
Yo.
I loved it. I had that with meatloaf. It was good.
Hold on,
Yo.
hold on. Z actually did it have Jolly Ranchers in it?
I don't think so.
What's that?
No.
It was the greatest drink I ever had in my life. It was sweeter than Kool-Aid. It was
Ah,
so
man. Wait
fire.
a minute.
Purple.
Purple drink. Yeah, you got it.
Amazing.
It's called drink. Not
Okay.
drink. It's called drink.
Okay.
Purple
Okay.
drink.
Yeah. I'm still learning. I was only there once.
Yo.
She was my chaperone.
Oh,
Yeah,
go
she
to-
is on the
She took me to the hood. She was my chaperone. I felt safe with her.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You get a purple drink. Do
You
you
felt
ask for it or
safe
she
with her.
Huh?
You said you felt safe with her.
I felt safe with her. Yeah, she was banging.
AD, that's how cats get robbed in the hood.
I know. It was the
By the
daytime.
chick,
That's a
and then
fact
you
though.
get bought in by the chick.
It was
and
a-
then
It was the
you leave with
daytime.
No shoes, no socks, no nothing.
Cause she been there before though. It's only cause she been
Of
there
course
before.
she been there. That's her
She
whole
knew
boy.
people. Yeah.
She's from that block. You're not.
Yeah.
When she leads you in there,
Oh,
Yo.
I was good. I was good.
hold on. Was she from there? Or
No, she lives in the area.
Oh, and she
Yo.
brought you.
She brought me here because
she's
she's
from the hood. That's
Yeah.
what he's trying to say, but he don't know that.
yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't care. It was good as food. It was a good drink. I enjoyed it. It was bomb as hell.
Yeah, you always got to keep it classic.
That's
Yeah,
a-
man.
You
What
froze?
you say? See?
Coming in and out.
Yo.
Yeah, he said, yo, she was from there. That's how you get.
Yeah,
Yo,
it was
that's
about
how you get robbed.
it was about 3 in the afternoon.
He said that's a bold point.
Oh, my
Nah, yo.
No, it was cool.
Come on, that we you never seen it before. I've seen this episode so many times.
but not with AD though. He has some type of magic. He just went in there, got his drink, and
And my meatloaf.
meatloaf.
She was like, "Why'd you get meatloaf? You should get the chicken." I'm like, "I want meatloaf."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I ain't gonna lie. Meatloaf is that's a different type of meal.
I never
I like
hung
it.
out with anybody ask
It
for
was
meatloaf,
straight
though.
fire.
Yeah.
I loved
You
it.
ever hung with somebody that asked for meatloaf?
Nah.
See, that's the thing. I'm different.
Yeah, that's you all different. Yeah, that's very different.
Yeah, that's like
But the lady was like, "Cool." She's like, "Yeah, no problem. Meatloaf, boom, there it is." But she
Yo,
knew it was
Z.
fire.
Yo, Z. I don't know if you can hear.
It was good.
Trying to call us back.
Yo,
Oh, you there? Have you ever went to a soul food joint
yeah.
and asked for meatloaf, or had somebody ask for meatloaf?
Negative. I don't even think they got that.
I know. AD, but
Yeah.
which one you went to that had meatloaf?
It was like, I don't know, Compton area, some spot out there she had. And no, it definitely had meatloaf.
Now they would have the turkey wings. They would have the turkey wings.
Now, I get that.
Maybe.
Yeah, with gravy.
I know what I like. I saw it. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna get that.
Oh, okay, so it was out. So it was out.
It was out there.
It wasn't just on the menu.
No. I pointed to it.
Oh, okay. So you know what
And
you
she served. It was just amazingly fire. But my point was the grape drink was the greatest drink I ever had. It was a giant styrofoam cup.
Yeah.
And I drank that, and my eyes lit up, and I had energy the whole day.
Yeah.
I mean,
loved it. Somebody said artificial grape drink kind of nasty. Let me ask you a question straight up. Meatloaf, did it have the red stripe on top? And if so, what is the red?
Ketchup.
What is the red?
That's ketchup.
Nah, you don't just put ketchup on it. Is that ketchup?
Yeah, it's meatloaf.
Yeah, that's baked ketchup.
Baked ketchup, right? It's got like a different kind. I'm not meatloaf. You put bread in meatloaf?
Yep, breadcrumbs in there. Egg and breadcrumbs.
Oh, okay. And baked ketchup on the top.
It was, if I go back there again.
Could you also have the red ketchup on top or none?
No, it comes with it. Like, that's kind of a standard ingredient. You
gotta have the red ketchup, but it's not meatloaf if it don't have the red on it?
I mean, if they put it on top, it's up to them, but like usually they cook it in also. It's part of the ingredient.
Okay.
Of like standard meat.
Rocklet. Oh, okay. Shout out to Al Shams. He said that's tomato paste. Come on, let's go.
There you go.
So
Jay Bland, meatloaf is banging.
Yeah, but somebody said fancy ketchup. Fancy ketchup. I'm gonna go with the tomatoes paste. I don't know because I don't really get down like that.
Right.
Ketchup technically is tomato paste with sugar.
Yeah. Are you a muffin? We had that discussion before, right?
A muffin or cornbread?
Yeah, muffin and cornbread.
I would say cornbread.
Okay.
Why?
I just like it.
Okay.
But with the bits of corn in it.
Yeah.
Oh no, that one? The corn in it? Nah,
you don't like that?
I had a bad experience with it. Yeah.
Somebody said that's kind of weird. Remember? He said, well, I don't know. That changes everything with the corn. How it looks in it, you can have it, but I don't know. The look is kind of wild.
Yeah, I can't.
Once you bite into it, and then it's like half of the corn. You still doing it like that? Where you at, Z? Cornbread or muffin?
Yeah, I don't want corn in my cornbread.
Yeah.
I don't want corn in my cornbread. Nah.
It's fire.
I can't. Nah, it's not my thing.
Before back in the days, I would have said it, but I was like, nah,
I couldn't. No, I can't do it.
Straight cornbread.
There's certain things that's overrated.
Huh? Yeah.
No,
There's certain things that's overrated. It's like, come on, you really don't need that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's real.
Exactly. Yep.
Certain things you can fall back from and still be okay. You'll be all right.
Yeah. Sometimes you could add too much.
Why is it always grape drink too? You had a grape drink, right? Why can't it be red drink?
That's what they had.
They go slow. They have red drink.
Like I said, it was like a Chipotle, but like just different. It was one lady.
You gotta be careful when you're in California.
Yeah.
The red drink and then the blue drink. You know they beefing already. So
yeah.
Oh damn.
Well, blue drink gotta be healthy,
that.
right?
Yeah. Now you getting discriminated on what drink you drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Let's
you
just
can.
leave it at perfect.
You can't.
Right.
Great.
Yo.
Yeah.
It was fire.
Exactly.
Man.
Yo, hold on. Is it lemon or yellow? Yellow drink or is it lemonade? Come on, we can go.
Is it yellow drink or is it yellow?
Yeah, we'll turn it. Yo, let me get a yellow drink.
I don't think I want yellow drink now. Yellow drink sound crazy.
Yeah.
You got the name of it.
You name it yellow is something ain't right.
Yeah, I don't want yellow drink.
It's got too much sugar in it. What makes it yellow drink?
Lemonade.
Nah,
yeah, but I'm saying
I'm not calling it that. No,
either the one or two.
I don't even want to drink that. Yellow drink. I don't want to drink yellow drink.
Z. Yo, Z.
Z froze. Yeah, Z froze. Yeah.
He's there.
Yellow drink.
Yo,
lemonade.
Yeah, I'm frozen. I don't know why.
No, it's stuttering. We're getting what's called rubber banding.
Hold on, let me.
Yeah.
It's rubber banding.
Right. Right there.
Hold on. Let me try to fix my service.
Yeah.
I said pineapple.
Pineapple. I mean, pineapple soda is nice. Pineapple juice is like, ooh.
Pineapple juice.
Pineapple.
Everything. I feel like everything pineapple gets in it.
It's dominant. It's a dominant flavor.
Definitely.
Pineapple, and banana. They're both two dominant flavors.
Yeah.
If they're in your drink, they change the whole drink.
Exactly.
Into their own.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
But let me say this. This is to Jamal. What's that, Jamal? Organic. You could drink your organic, but then you could cheat one time and have a drink, right? Like a drink. if you're drinking organic all the time. But I need a health guru up here. But I know AD be studying them.
Yeah.
So
What's your question?
is it cool to cheat a little bit? Like if you have a drink or a juice?
What is the cheat part?
Yeah,
What
the
do you
cheap. Well, I would think they add sugar to drink.
That's all right.
Juice is no sugar added, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends if you want sugar or no sugar. Juice already has
All
sugar.
right, so what's the difference between drink and juice?
Drink is more processed because they add sugar. Like a Kool-Aid is a processed drink.
Right. Add additives.
A juice
additives.
is normally already squeezed, but the stuff that
Squeezed out.
if you get an orange juice at the supermarket, technically that's a drink because they sometimes add stuff to it. Like they'll add salt to make it less acidic. Like the Tropicana.
So it's not really a
stuff,
juice.
Technically, if you want to call it a drink, you
Fresca.
technically can. But if you go to Whole Foods and get freshly squeezed orange juice, that's what you want.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, see, you started all this.
Yo.
And you got the big
That looks
round
good.
cup.
No, those you don't know about the AD. Those are banging.
That looks good. I believe you.
That and
That's that's a classic right there.
That looks good.
the half and half though. The half and half is my favorite.
What's
though.
a half and half?
That's the iced tea and the lemonade.
Ooh,
Palmer. See,
Yeah.
I like my lemonade straight.
I respect it. I
You
respect
might
it.
want to put a little, you can put a little strawberry, little mango. You can put a little flavors in it. I like my lemonade straight.
I respect that.
Straight. What about ice?
That's a must, right?
Could somebody?
Now I like mine chill.
refrigerated
I
straight.
don't like
Yeah.
ice in it because it water it down.
Yeah.
I like mine
Dilutes
chill.
it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because the ice, you don't want 2 big chunks of ice hitting you. Because they all hold. Here we go.
Oh yeah, water it down. Yeah,
exactly. You try to
Water it down a little bit.
yeah, dude.
Yep.
I had a question, but I forgot.
Let's go.
I
Take your
forgot.
time. Let's go, man. Go ahead.
I forgot it. It came to me
I got time
and then
today.
it left.
Yeah, man.
Anyway,
Oh.
how y'all feel about the Knicks, man? And let's clap it up for them. It's been 25 years since we did anything.
Yo, I'll be honest. You know, as the person, because you know it's crazy. You know,
We beat your team low. All right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
you know,
Let's apologize.
because I'm a, you know me, I'm a black sheep.
The star player went down towards Achilles. I know you feel a little salty about that.
Nah,
Let's speak on how you feel. Let's
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
You are a New Yorker though, and you from the Bronx.
That's real. No, you're right. Look, I'm happy for the Knicks. I ain't gonna lie. I am happy because I said it myself. Because this is the reason why I became a Celtics fan. I ain't gonna lie. Because all my life I've watched my friends, my family be depressed, and I've seen it because I've seen it so many times. Yo, I know the story of the Knicks. I know the story of all New York teams. Actually, they get you. It's like a high, right? But the high don't last forever. And I want New York to win so badly because they need to win. This is the year they have to win, in my opinion. I'm talking about beat the Pacers because they have to beat the Pacers. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to see all that celebration
Like,
to the.
wait a little bit. right, Z? Wait a little bit.
No, because I want them. I want them to win the championship because I lived in New York all my life, right? And my whole experience in New York was, we talk a big game, but we never make the right moves. This is the first year I would say the Knicks had a constructed team that looked good, right? Those times with old Jason Kidd and Raymond Felton and all of, like, you know what I mean? They had Carmelo in all those years, like. Yeah, I'm proud. I mean, look, I watched their team glow up. I'm proud of them. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be a Celtics fan at the end of the day. Still, I mean, I could be the black sheep. I'm alright with that. But like, I'm proud of it. But they got to beat the Pacers. If they don't beat the Pacers, then this is all a dead season. They got to beat the Pacers. If they beat the Pacers, I don't know how they beat OKC, but we'll see. I don't know how they could beat OKC.
Okay.
I think they want to see the Timberwolves. That's what they would want to see. But I don't know how they beat OKC.
If the Knicks automatically got to go to the finals. I said that. I said automatically off top after they win this series, they beat Boston.
Mm-hmm.
They automatically have to go to the finals. If they do not go to the finals, I will never in my life, ever in my lifetime, lifespan, root for them again, ever.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They have to do it.
Yeah.
They don't have to win the finals now. That's a reach. But
No, they got. No, I think they have to win.
They gotta go.
I think they got to win. I think this is their only chance. I'll say because, look, the Pacers. Credit to them, they beat the Cavs. I'll say this, yo, they gotta beat. All right, beat Indiana because you got to beat Indiana. Boston's the hardest team to beat outside for the Knicks, right? You got to beat the Pacers, and I'm talking about sweep them. If you don't sweep the Pacers, you don't ever around and lose. Don't go to games. No, I don't want to see no game 7. Don't be down. First of all, the Knicks got to ride this momentum too. Don't be down 0-2 or 1-1. I don't want to see that. Knicks better be up 2-0 in the first 2 games. They got to, in my opinion. From there, they want to see the Timberwolves. I don't think they want to see OKC. From what I saw from OKC, I don't know if they want to see that team. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, but shout out to them. You know what I mean? They got to win though.
See, I think you stuck again.
Yeah. Like freezing?
Yeah. Froze again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, you was freezing like you got caught doing something.
Yeah. Yeah, right? I know. Exactly.
Then you be coming back in like this, right?
Yo.
You be right up on the camera. All right. What's good though, yo, man? Yo, I don't got no stocks into it, but I just like to see the Knicks. They doing their thing. That dude is nice though. I ain't gonna front.
Brunson? Yeah. Maybe not.
Yeah. He got New York on his back right now.
Yeah.
The jump. He not scared.
Yo, he get a statue, right?
Oh yeah.
He get the statue in the middle of Times Square like this.
Well, I should have went there. if you want glory, remember we talked about this, right, Z? If you wanted glory, if you really want glory, go to the Knicks.
Oh, go to New York. That's real.
If you wanted the glory, because the story, LA already had it like thousands and thousands of years now.
Yeah. But yo, yeah, if you go, no, that's why I say it's a big deal.
What's wrong?
I know.
Yo, you glitch man right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know your camera. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he'll be back.
Yeah.
But no, but that's a fact though. Like you get the statue. Because I do want the Knicks to win. As much as I joke around and like I be like, I'm a Celtics fan and everything like that. Look, I'm not part of the hate. I'm from New York at the end of the day, right? But but I'm telling you, this is a big thing for New York. I think this is their best chance. This is their best time. They cannot squander it. I think New York needs it. When I mean they need it, they dead ass need it. Like it's not even crazy. Yo.
Yo, this is going to open up the door. We're going to get more comedians too to come on through.
Mm-hmm.
It's something about when comedians, like we already talked. I mean, we spoke a lot about the Joker. You know what I mean? And that's crazy. It's significant with the broadcast. What we doing? That'd be a dope name for girls, right? Broadcast.
The broadcast.
Hope I don't get in trouble for that, but that's dope. Yeah,
they just don't want to call themselves broads.
Yeah, but that's a thrown away term. You know what I'm saying? Like old term. Broadway, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like he said, like Alonzo said, certain things when you think is not good, it propels you to be the best that you could be. You know what I'm saying?
They should start a show and call it the Hoedown.
But
oh no.
But that's what.
Remember those words were said by AD. AD said that.
But that's what comedy. That's why I try to tell people, like, you gotta enhance the comedian in yourself, right? Laugh at yourself. Laugh at your pain.
Get your inner comedian out.
Yeah, no, laugh at your pain. Yo, if I go through my whole life crying and doping and worry about, oh, woe is me. Nah, laugh at yourself, right? Like I'm very high in my humility. So whatever I go through, a mistake I do, I look at it and I laugh at it. You know what I mean? That's why I said, like, yo, if somebody breaks your heart, right? Like, you gotta learn to laugh at it because it's just the nature. It's just nature.
You gotta learn that young. You gotta know how to tease and be teased.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no. But that's why you gotta do that. Yep. But yeah, you good. Yeah, you gotta learn how to laugh at yourself. People. I think sometimes people don't know how to laugh at themselves. They don't know how to be the joke.
It depends if you were brought up around like brothers, that would tease you, cousin,
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that. You gotta get used to that young,
That's true.
so that once you get older, it kind of just goes.
That's why I like being from New York, because I think New York.
Oh my gosh!
That's why I like being from New York. You have to.
I can't hear you, Priest. You saying something? Oh.
Make it big so I can come in.
Yeah.
I'll do this.
Welcome to the Podcraft.
Yep.
I would just.
I was back.
Nah, but yo, being from New York, you gotta you develop that callus. You know what I mean?
Callous.
You learn it. You gotta have that sense of humor. You know what I mean? People gonna laugh at you. People gonna crack jokes on you. You gotta just have to have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, yo, I look at every situation. Like, I use my relationships as a great example. I look at all my relationships and say, like, oh yeah. I mean, I don't hate none of my exes. I mean, like, yo, at the end of the day, they built to be a stronger person, right? Because I'm like, yo, I just learned callous. Like, oh, that's their nature? Word. I feel it. You know what I mean? But I learned to laugh at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when I mess up. Because I'll be like, okay, I ain't gonna lie. That's what I always say. I'm a great guy, but like, I definitely don't cause everything right. You know what I mean? I'm not the perfect guy. I just learned.
You're the perfect guy, bro.
Man, you should ask them that. You know what I mean? They should know that.
Class
you
clown stuff.
Yeah, but you gotta learn to laugh at it, because it's like, all right, if I'm like bitter at all my exes, it's like, come on now, I'm bitter at all my exes. No, I'm not. You know what I mean? They live in their lives, they do their thing. You know what I mean? They're gonna run into another problem.
You gotta wish them well, man. Wish all your exes well.
Yeah, real talk. Nah, man. I show them love. You know, they always come back though. They do always come back. That's real talk. But yeah, you just gotta
Solid peace.
Yeah, man, you know, let's come back.
Yeah, man. All right, man. So let's go to the music, man. Go to the music. Too quick for you, AD, wasn't it?
No, we right on time.
Yeah. We're always doing that.
Oh yes, he's gonna come back in too.
Oh, that's right.
appreciate
Oh,
it.
wait, let me make sure he's
trying.
not waiting or something.
I'm trying to jump back in. Let's see.
Let me check. I don't think I turned off the. No, he was able to enter no problem last time.
Yeah, I thought I heard a voice. I was like, from whence it came, though. Voice. I said,
yeah.
Heard a voice, but from whence? From whence
He
did it
said,
come?
"You here in the win."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's open for.
This place is a school of learning. Yeah, no doubt, man. Come on in here and learn. Yeah, especially the narcs. Yeah, let me tell you the best thing I did. The best thing you could do is don't react or respond to negativity. I've learned that myself. I like literally. The more I don't respond or react, you don't feed into energy that's negative. There's a certain energy and power that comes around, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to live. You don't have to do nothing.
Yo,
So let me give you all that advice. Go ahead. So,
No, I was gonna elaborate. I want to elaborate on that because I 100% agree. I think what's the saying again? A wise man and a fool can't be in an argument. You know what I mean? If you're wise, from far, right? Yeah, and both.
so look at them too.
Right, too full, exactly, right? So, yeah, no, I don't stoop down to levels where it's beneath me, right? Like, if somebody was to argue or like try to argue, I'm at a point, I'm too grown for arguments at this point, you know what I mean? I say that with relationships, with people in general, like, that's your personal problem. I always say with people, they have a thing to prove something, right? But I'm not the person they're trying to prove it to. They're just proving it to themselves. It's like, yo, I'll let people argue with themselves,
Right.
easily.
Right.
I rather just I'm just at that mature age. It's like, yo, man, and not everything's gonna be solved with argument. You know what I mean? Because because people would. I always learned this since my childhood. People will argue with you, but they won't fight you.
Right.
They won't fight you because that's the truth. They're scared. Because if I was to challenge you in a fight, now you running. You know what I mean? People battle with their words, and I respect that, but. But never react though. Never react because you know what I mean. That's stooping to somebody's low level and then their lower selves. You know what I mean?
It's like battle rap. People who are during battle raps.
Oh, but that's a challenge. That's appropriate challenge.
We've all seen
Mhm.
it go physical. Seen those battle raps where it starts someone punches. Like they can't mentally separate. Have that mental professionalism.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's but it's a challenge. If it's a challenge, a respectable challenge, and then that's one thing. But you try to do it to like make me go down to your level. I'm not doing that.
In football, when you played football and you beat the other team, did you have haters? Like did the other teams like try to retaliate in some way or flip you off or get emotional?
As I got older, no. Like I mean, like we would have rivalries. With the rival school. You know what I mean? And that was always be like a beef. But like it would never be like outside of that, it'd be all respect though. Like my rivals team now, if I see them in the streets, I could still dap them up and say what's up.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's all respect.
See that's real knowing like good losers. Not sore losers, knowing how to like respect the game.
Yeah, you gotta respect the game. I mean we all young, we all could talk, we could all talk crazy, but it's all respect at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That's a respectable challenge, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
That's the athletic mind.
That's good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Because you would see boxers and fighters fight, and then once the bell goes, ding, 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 it's over, then they shake hands or they give each other a hug.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was watching that when I was a kid, I'd be like, I could not shake hands. I'd be so upset. You know what I mean? You would think emotionally as a kid.
Yeah, you think as a kid,
Like, you'd want to kill that guy, but you understand sportsmanship as you get older.
Did you wrestle?
No. I didn't. The only thing I did was a thing called joust. Joust, it's like
with the like when you look like a bee or something.
A little bit. But we didn't have that. We had these head protectors. The face was exposed, but we had these sticks that had big foam, like big giant Q-tips.
Joust is like you had one hand on your like this, like you had to.
It was a joust where we're standing on like
that's
platforms.
Yeah, okay.
And like you have to knock the other person out. Like remember American Gladiator?
American Gladiator. Okay.
So you hit whoever like is able to push the other person off of the pedestal.
Okay.
We did that. But for me, that was a big thing because I had never been in an altercation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when I was in, I was like, like it was like a big thing for me. Yeah, it was PE. Our PE teacher was like, okay, next, and then the winner would fight the next guy and stuff like that.
Wind was blowing, you was up there, wind was blowing. And your hair was blowing back.
It started raining?
Yeah, it started raining.
And I was fighting this nerd. I was fighting this guy that looked like Harry Potter.
Wow.
And he was beating me because I would swing at him and the guy would duck. So I'm like, oof. And I'd miss, and I'd try to hit him again, and he would duck again, outsmarting me from all of that. I was swinging too hard, but that's ninth grade.
But you learn, but that's funny though, because you learn, right?
Ninth is a little older.
Yeah, it was ninth grade. It was P.
Okay.
No, I learned. No, that's what I'm saying. You learn because you can't get sore at your losses. You got to learn how to be a better player.
Separate your emotions.
That's the part game. That is. You got to learn how to be a better player in the game. That's why I only learn from my losses. That's really how I learn in life. Is how I lose, and it's not a bad feeling. You gotta. What you said, sore loser. You gotta know how to lose with sportsmanship. Be like, damn, I got played, or I just lost, or whatever.
That's sports. But what about when you?
Yeah.
And you see people get pissed off at each other. What NBA?
2K. Yeah, competitive. That's what I'm saying. But you gotta learn how to be a better player. Because at that point, it's like, because I have a friend like that too. Like we was very competitive playing video games, and it's like, I hate to lose. Like in fighting games, we get down.
Fighting games, because in when Xbox came out, you could hear the other players. You can talk to each other on Xbox. I was playing Mortal Kombat X.
Oh yeah.
I'm always Kung Lao.
Right.
I just wanted to pick one player and master him. So I mastered Kung Lao. I knew how to throw the saw on the floor, do the walk up and everything.
Oh, Mortal Kombat's my favorite.
Oh my god. Mortal Kombat 10.
Oof.
So the guy I was fighting, I was just doing these same moves and just destroying him, man. And this guy is so mad on the mic. He's yelling.
Yeah.
Stop doing the same move.
Yeah.
I killed him.
That's like a little bit. Yeah, you're a little off if you keep beating him with the same move. That's something neurological.
I wasn't spamming him. I wasn't spamming him.
No, but I'm just saying you keep hitting him with the same thing. He couldn't get.
I had a combo thing I was doing with Kung Lao. It was such an obvious combo. It was just 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? But it was so. He kept falling for it every time.
Yeah.
I was crying, laughing, bro.
He probably was 9 years old.
Some people.
No, he was about my age. He was
grown.
older, but he was yelling at me on the in the mic.
Nah, some people. Yeah,
I wish I recorded it, man. That was one of the funniest moments of my life, man.
that's real. Nah,
Mortal Kombat.
I'm like that with Jade. So I'm kind of like that too. Jade was my girl. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, Jade. Okay.
Yeah, Jade was my girl.
Shit, some of the girls were like vicious players.
Yeah, nah, that's what I'm saying. I try to do. So what you do?
Belina.
I try to master as much characters as I can.
Oh,
So-
I get confused.
Yeah, no, I get you. No, it's pretty easy once you start understanding like key moves.
Fatalities.
Yeah, like like I always say, like if I'm playing Jade, I'll probably play you serious. I'm playing you serious if
Yeah.
I'm playing you with Jade. But like I'll try to, Scorpion. I felt like I could easily beat people with Scorpion, so I like to not use Scorpion all the time because he's my best character.
And then Mortal Kombat 11 would come out, and it's all different combos. You have to relearn everything. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, no, but they reuse the similar. They reuse similar move sets as long as you remember certain things from the like old games, because they always try to update and try to change things. But like as long as you remember certain patterns,
Yeah.
you could master the character
Like
again.
the teleport.
Yeah, it's not that
I
bad.
loved it, man. I miss Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
You have it now, man. Y'all gotta set that up.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. Yeah,
Xbox.
yeah, we gotta do. Well, yeah, we do. Yeah, we still have it. Yeah, still have it.
What's
Yep.
Mortal Kombat and what are they up to now?
Oh, there's one called Mortal Kombat 1.
There's Mortal Kombat
So
1.
they kind of reset the whole
They went
thing.
back. Okay.
It's supposed to be pretty cool.
Is it doper than all of them?
I haven't played it. I want to play it because I haven't got it. I haven't got it yet. You know what I
They
mean?
got characters like the Terminator now. You can own it. Barbarian.
Fatalities?
Yeah,
Fatality,
yeah.
yeah.
I
That's
don't.
gotta be dope.
So this is actually a big thing for me because this discussion actually is my whole thing. Yo, I do not like how things change video games. Like the DLCs, you gotta pay for all these characters now. I like the back in the good old days where you unlock your characters. You know what I mean? The organic way, the special characters.
Smoke.
Yeah, all those. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Like all those special characters you could get, but now you can just pay for them. You can
Yeah.
just,
No.
yeah, you can just pay for
You
characters.
just
You-
buy 'em.
That's weird. I never even knew that.
yeah, it changed.
It's all money. You gotta make
My money is noob. Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
Noob. Noob. Yep. Exactly. Joker though. I didn't see the Joker. It's dope. Noob
Mhm.
and Smoke is almost like the same person.
Noob and Smoke.
Oh, Noob Saibot.
They're different. Yeah, they're the same. They're the same character typically, but they're different characters in the.
Remember
Yeah.
we did that. I spent like an hour. Remember we was just watching fatalities.
We did a whole segment called Priest Reacts to Fatality.
Oh,
Yo.
And Priest was just like, what?
My dopamine, serotonin, and all that, like crashing. I was like, because I loved fatalities.
Yeah,
I was
that's-
just watching them. Today. And when I went home, like, oh no, I need more. And I was to the point where I was going all the way back
Oh,
watching one because I saw Liu Kang's one when he turned to the dragon.
the dragon
And
ate
ate the half of the body.
Uh huh.
I used to love that one. But a lot of them I didn't never see because we didn't have computers back then.
Right.
So if you didn't see the person do the fatality, never seen it.
Yeah. I remember how you had to unlock fatalities too. You gotta just know it, or you had to have the book. Yo, it's crazy. It changed. Everything changed now because fatalities are way easier now.
Yeah.
It's just it's back, forward, back, down, X.
You could be the Scream. You could fight against Homeland. But
Yeah.
if you haven't seen The Boys on Prime,
Yeah, I seen boys. Yep.
then you wouldn't know who Homelander is. But Homelander's like a bad Superman.
Yeah, he's what superheroes will really be in real life.
Yeah.
That's Ghostface in Homelander. But see, that's what I'm trying to say. I feel like the DLCs we're adding too much like all right, Homelander would have been cool on Injustice, but see, they already put him in Mortal Kombat.
This is the latest one, Priest. This is MK1.
Yeah, this is
That's fire.
yeah, this is
Ooh, that's fire.
yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah,
Oh yeah, because there was two Screams.
yeah. There's always two
There's always
screens.
two
Ghostface, yeah. Always two of them.
That's so dope. Wait, the
But-
one that you fly with the eyes?
But it's funny though, in real life though, Scream is human though.
Yeah.
Ghostface is human. as hell.
Exactly. He really wouldn't survive.
He would have survived this.
No.
That's the funny part about it.
Oh, that's dope. He can fly.
Oh, Mist killed him. He's dead. You going brutality? You going for the brutality? Go for the brutality.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's going for the brutality.
That's hard.
Did a twist, man.
Yeah. He won't go for the brutality.
Scorpion comes in out of nowhere.
Oh, you wag. You wag. You gotta go for the brutality. That was the first round.
If we start doing video game stuff, we're gonna have to also broadcast on Twitch.
Yeah.
Because Twitch is all about mostly video games.
Well, I'm all about just Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Twitch channels for Mortal Kombat.
So this,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. It one's for Tekken too. Yeah.
graphics is crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they changed a lot. Yo, I'm telling you.
I still remember this move. They used to, with the 2 sticks.
Oh, yeah.
One up, one forward. Oh, it's like this. Up like that.
Oh, what
And
forward?
the bicycle, you got a whole A, hold A, crouch down, and then let go.
Oh, you talking about bicycle kick?
Bicycle.
Oh yeah. That's I'm telling you, no, but they made the game easier now. It's like you
They used to do this on Kung Fu. Up, down.
yeah.
All right, AD, let's move on, bro. We gotta
Okay,
get-
yeah, we could do this all day.
Yeah, we did that all day. I look at the 2 dragons on the mountain. That was fire.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real.
Yo, you got your cats sounding like the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah.
I know, right? He's a gargoyle.
Yeah.
Thorn Promotions. You send in your music, we play it live on the show for Killah Priest and the world to hear.
Yeah. Man, watching that video game stuff makes you wanna like download some of the games, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta stay focused.
There's no problem with getting the game. It's no problem. It's as long as you like not. You don't have to be on it every single day.
It's
you know.
addicting.
Yeah, it is addicting. But I learned, something I learned how to do with video games. I learned to be like, all right, I'm playing for an hour. You know what I mean? I try to hit that quota. If I hit that 2-hour quota, I'm good with that. You know what I mean? But yeah, the key is to not be on it where it's like you're not going to sleep now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what happened with Call of Duty.
Yeah, because you could be in there chasing wins, and sometimes you gotta just accept it. Like, all right, I'm out of it tonight. I'm like, that's like I was with Madden. I was like, yo, if I could be on Madden too long, I mean, yeah.
All right, our first submission is by an artist named BLACKWELL, produced by DinoTheDonDaDa from Greensboro, North Carolina. The song is called Dichotomies. Off the album BLACKGEM, available now.
There are those here tonight who lives need to be changed. There's a mother here tonight who was a child who is sick and someone needs to pray and ask God to touch. There's someone here tonight that's on the very point of eternity. And it may be heaven or it may be hell. But tonight you need to make that decision. Maybe someone here tonight.
Yo, my homie told me that we too young to be rushing things, too old to be wasting time. There's inner depths within my mind. I search that place to find serenity. Pray the Lord restore my soul and energy and help me set my pace while navigating through this space and time. Too young to be rushing things, too old to be wasting time. There's inner depths within my mind. I search that place to find serenity. Pray the Lord restore my soul and energy and help me set my pace while navigating through this space and time. We too young to be rushing things. In this land, there's so much pain and so much suffering. There's so much beauty, so much joy and peace that love could bring. But we miss out on that because of all our lust for bling, fame, and plenty other things. Too old to be wasting time. Every second is a blessing, so each day's divine. We'll get older, then look on our younger days and find we don't regret the things we tried and failed. We regret the times that fear it made us doubt ourselves. Too young to be wasting time. Too young to be wasting time.
Yep.
Too old to be rushing things, too young to be wasting time. Too young to be rushing things, too old to be wasting time.
Yo, that sounds like a beat that Priest would go on. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like Jordan Rivers, huh? That sounded like a beat you would go on.
Man.
That was cool. It left me wanting more.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Priest was mentioning that it almost sounded like the verse was like a hook.
Yeah.
It sounded good.
Melodic.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
I like it.
Listen, would you like that?
Yeah, it was cool. I like it, you know.
Christian rap collab project with rapper Blackwell and producer DinoTheDonDaDa. Or is it Dino? DinoTheDonDaDa. That was cool, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blackwell and DinoTheDonDaDa. That was cool.
Bro.
That's what's up. Good submission. Got some good feedback in the chat. 99 Cam says that was hard.
Yep.
That's what's up. All right, let's go. We've got about three more.
All right.
This next one here is. Here's a hairball. This next one here is by an artist named Supreme Leviathan from Baltimore.
BMO.
Song is called "Praise the God," featuring Kasaun.
All right.
Produced by Supreme Mathematics. I've heard that before.
Yeah, I feel like we heard it. Yeah, sounds familiar.
The history of the frequenciers is shrouded in mystery and legend, making it difficult to pinpoint the exact moment of their emergence. Some believe they are the remnants of an ancient civilization that achieved a heightened understanding of the universe through their devotion to sound and frequency. Others claim they are interdimensional wanderers who have transcended time and space in search of a deeper truth.
May the gods bless you. May the gods bless you.
Yo. Bless the mic with the God's breath, holy conquest. Jihad bars carved in giant slabs in Sumerian text. Word plays in depth, make the verse go in reverse like MJ's best dance steps. Time travel through unraveled tongues. My notebook weighs a ton. Thoughts darker than Michael Black's done. Spark up the sun or the sun. God's son, that's Christ thrice. Black Jesus, y'all heathen rappers lack soul like old Adidas. Ancient elixirs, no patience for non-believers. I have seizures and see vivid pictures. This is God speaking, all poetic like Quran scriptures. Now that's hard rapping with hard traction. Bars and traction, rep for myself at the table. Lamar Jackson, lyrics ricochet, holy bullet spray. Put a portal inside the hand, crucifixion resistant. Bobby Brown tripping, they skills recessant like Caucasian DNA. First Testament, new edition. What you got to say?
Deliver us, here I come. Deliver us, Lord of all.
The mushrooms.
Yeah, see that? Yeah.
Deliver us. Deliver us, here I come, deliver us, Lord of all, remember us, deliver us.
Can you stand the rain? Is your soul for real? Is it pain or skills? Rhymes written in blood, a tablet of God's love. How bad do the blues hurt? I don't do shadow work, I make my shadows do the work. My light work, turn knife work when I murk the universe. A constellation of constellations buried in dirt, heaven and earth, just to search your worth. A verse condensed into one breath. Holy visions given on a quest, cast spells like a fishing net. How many loads on a mission? The
Who's this, AD?
Hidden space rocks, but they creators in hip hop. Y'all fake it when white women
Supreme
rocking
Leviathan.
bumping Tupac, screaming thug life. So I hug mics and deliver truth in a Fibonacci sequence. Everything y'all spit is a reach, that's bad defense.
Here I come, deliver us, Lord of all, remember us, deliver us.
Let's go.
Deliver us, here I come,
Deliver us.
Lord of all, remember us, deliver us.
AZ Asiatic African from Damascus, half man, half amazing, divided by melatonin and magic, equals supreme mathematics. What I write is Nikola Tesla type dark and light inventions. Bars in my DNA strands, when I spit is forensics. Your relevancy decrease like running backs and spread offenses. My telepathy increases in the trenches. They hide behind walls and fences. My consensus is hardcore, raise the frequency. Falsetto chords, angels sing more, I bring more. Microphones are shoddy, bodies drop like minority credit scores. Gather the matter off the top of the dome and shatter the metronome. Flat earth is buried with their theories inside their imaginary domes. My rhyme patterns control the patterns.
Yeah, he came out shot. He came out shot.
Spark the metametric. You're the movie, the book, always better.
FEs.
Deliver us, here I come, deliver us, Lord of all, remember us.
Shots
Deliver
fired.
Deliver us, here I come, deliver us, Lord of all, remember us. Deliver us.
Fire.
That was really good.
Ooh.
That was dope.
That was straight fire.
Killed that. I ain't gonna lie, he killed that.
Yeah.
And his girl
I
too.
put the link in the description.
Yo, hold on. He sat on that. That's what you call. It's just you don't call you. Yeah, it's just he was channeled.
They just launched that 5 days ago. I put
Launched
the
it.
link in the
Nuclear
chat.
missile.
I'm gonna start putting links in the chat.
Yeah, that was a nuclear missile right there. Yo, I don't even know what to say. He was just letting it go. That's no whole bar. No pun intended. There's no whole bars. He just let the bars go, man. On that. That was beautiful, man. Yo,
And
he
the
said
beat
something
was
about
clean.
angels sing. You know, we hear so much clean and dope lyrics. It's hard. We gotta go back between Cap. You got Cap Jones and all know every niche must bow. You got Zodiac. You got my brother. Come on, Leo, man, bro. Aurora Borealis.
K9.
No, come on, my man.
Who's you talking about?
Donnie. There you
Donnie
go.
Arcade.
Okay. Sorry, Crip Jesus. Cats. How did I see Priest in New York? Yeah, you saw me, yo. I saw Aurora Borealis, man. We got a picture together too. Oh, they said you got Priest. Yeah, man. When you sit back and you channel and you just hear these Ty Phoenix, yes, definitely Ty Phoenix, and many more, man. Lil Da Vinci, yes, and you hear these lyrics just come out. Come on, bro, all of them,
It was
man.
really good.
It's a staple. You know what I mean? It uplifts the soul and
Visuals.
thank you for that. Who was that MC?
So let's go back.
We gotta keep that name in.
That was
Definitely K9, man. Shout out to K9, man. We ever see it was a couple of brothers that came through the craft, man, during the it's like during a period. I was just eating out. Well,
that was Supreme Leviathan from Baltimore.
K9 got the ultimate flow. Sit on it.
It was Praise the God featuring Kasaun.
His name is Kasaun.
Yeah, Kasaun.
K-A-S.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that.
Kasaun.
Kasaun.
Yeah.
Okay, produced by Supreme Mathematics. We've heard that name, Supreme
Mathematics
Mathematics.
from the clan? From the
It says Supreme Mathematics from the album Ancient Future, dropping Friday, June 13th, DBL Records.
I love that.
See, that's a song promotion right there.
I said something and he killed it. He said the ancient future. That's dope. I said, once the past can be, I said something about that's the future predicting the past. Something like that. That's dope, man.
This was a smart
Shout
drop.
out to my brother.
It was a smart drop for this show, too.
That was K9? That was a K9.
No, it was Supreme Leviathan
Oh, okay. Supreme Leviathan.
from Baltimore.
Oh yeah, that's a dope.
But I'm saying it was a smart drop because they launched it right at a good time on the show,
I'm loving the
right before their album drops.
Hey, that's how you got to do it, man.
And now, like, y'all can check out the video. So all the links to these artists are going to be in the description after the show.
Mm-hmm.
But that was clean.
I'm looking at the visuals, man. It's just taking me there.
Yo.
All right, let's go.
That's nice.
Crystal, the old man.
Hitting that Zodiac level with the graphics, too.
Yeah.
Man. It's really nice.
Yeah. That's rare.
Yeah, killed it.
Cap Jones, Capstone, Ty Phoenix. Man.
All right. This next artist
Crip
is
Jesus, Lil Da Vinci.
Cylynt E. Cylynt E. The song is called Soul Can.
Soul Can. Said it's silent.
Mm-hmm.
Silent is Tequila. Looking like God.
Things breathe, things grow, keep changing. One perspective don't mean everything, let your mind go. Everybody doing something
Shout out to Now
different.
Born.
Before you keep it moving forward, I'ma keep moving though. I don't give a good golly God, I'ma let it move through my body. That feeling when the
Is that Cap
sound
Jones?
goes. Alright? You follow me, brother? It's left for me, say something nicer. Just follow me, brother. So, how old am I now? Delete that program. The old man drinking light out of a soul can. The soul can. Believe what you want, the slow scan. Check the contracts off script in the font. So what we talking about now? We talking about everything created. We perceiving the how. The how. Eureka.
Oh, no lies.
We get it. We visit, fidget, we did it. Trying to explain how he did it. Explicit, eagerly critics can't stop or inhibit. Prohibited, picture posted, adios, we live it. I could be so emotional. I love synchronicity, that's supposed to go. Hey, look at the speaker, this microphone, mega mouth, microdose, feeling love, not alone. Right? See how that worked out? We let go and let it go, we let it go. The energy can't hide. Monitor, ghostly watcher, access denied. Access denied. Access disguised. How many try? Stares in the mirror and cry.
Let's go.
Again we go up, we go out, flying far, we go home. We're still home, we phone home. Cause I'm always here. Honored to meet your frequency. A pleasure to hear.
Oh, man.
A pleasure to hear. Now, always, forever. For never and ever. It is choosing a better.
Oh man.
What'd you think of that?
All right. That's cool. That was cool.
That was fire, man. That 808.
Yeah.
Bang. That 808 he was sitting on, it was smooth.
Mm-hmm.
That was smooth, man. The way he was riding. I thought it was Cap Jones for a minute. The voice.
Cylynt E. Soul Can.
Damn.
Pronounced silent. Like I said, all the links are going to be in the description about an hour after the.
Yep.
That was cool.
Silent E like in soul, right?
Yes, sir. All right, couple more to go. This one is by an artist named the TRA Lord Fernandez in the Monster Truck. Get out. From the Netherlands, Bensko 21. Song is called We Blitzt Staan. He says, shout out to Killah Priest, Podcraft, everyone on board, all love.
Yo, we in the rocket ship.
Ik blaas een gat in de ozon, projectielen vanuit het foton. Ik wijs op Sirius C net de Dogon. Dit is de stam, tijdens het winnen van backgammon. Ik tik de beelden als de Mason en maak een nieuwe mythes van. Je zult ze tegenkomen in je ondergang, zonder backup plan. Voor de tegeltjes wijsheid nam men de tijd. Waarom sta je in de wind tijdens je strijd? Emoties nemen de overhand en je bent het kwijt. Je weet niet waar je heen gaat, je bent het kwijt. Daarom is mijn kompas nu altijd op een lijst. Je wil niet dat de man in de zwarte cake fight met de zijs. Jas je staat op zijn lijst. Bruine bonen met kip en rijst. Eet ik voordat het je slagschip kapseist. Ook als je floot groot, er is geen nood. Je hebt te maken met een ervaren piloot. De rijkwijde van mijn tapijt zorgt dat al dat gekloot wordt bereikt. Ga niet in strijd als je niet klaar bent voor een bijt. Ga terug naar de tekentafel, ga als je bent voorbereid. Ga niet in strijd als je niet klaar bent voor een bijt. Zorg dat je bent getraind en schedels pleit. Een combinatie van twee geeft de chemische kenmerken. Dit duo heeft geen beperkingen. Stelt de slappe rappers in verzekering. Ik stuur ze naar huis met de rekening. Ik chap die gebraden eten uit Peking. Bombardementen zijn uit verveling. Je weet nooit wanneer ik ga, daarom zie je me regelmatig camouflering. Ik zei je eerder al, ik ben de king in de hiphopkring. Swerving als Marvin, we don't play. Ik eet de rug van een ree, eet je mee? Schuif aan als de monster tank zegt dat je kan staan. Anders veeg je weer met de rest van de troep. Ja, anders veeg je weer met de rest van de troep uit de laan.
Ik drop de meest gevaarlijke bars. Ik ben zo top secret, ik scramble defensie radars. TRA pulsars, neutron stars. Dalen neer over de vijand met de energie van Mars. Ik ontketen de supernova, want rappers liggen dwars. Ze snappen geen snars van de tijdreis ze zijn een rijmkunde. Ze rappers op zijn drugs imperium runden. De criminele onkunde. Hun producten zijn te slap omdat ze het product verdunden. Een verspeelde beat en die 16 redden het ook niet. Daarom dat we jou de plek niet gunden. Ik keek erop toe dat jij je rijms weggumde. Voor het wie droog wil houden is geen kans. Ik doe de powwow gevolgd door een regendans. Hoor hoe ik met de wind praat en met de wolken chans. En mijn gouden hoofdtooi gooit met tomahawks in jullie theekrans. Jullie verliezen glans, balanceren op onbalans. Jullie komen met slappe rijms op te proppen. Geen ruggengraat, zo slappe poppen. Jullie poppenkast kan mij niet foppen. Als je het nog niet door had, de TRA is hier om jullie te stoppen. Doe het vrijwillig of alles wat je lief is gaat naar de knoppen. Ik hoor die rappers zichzelf al opfokken. Hun bloeddruk loopt zo hoog op dat hun oogdop uit hun oogkassen ploppen. De sappen soppen over hun kinnen, strijden voor de titel, daar hadden ze nooit aan moeten beginnen. Want de TRA is nummer 1 met duizelingwekkende zinnen. Het monster in mij wil gewoon alle MC's en rappers verslinden. Ongeacht wat jullie ervan vinden. Maar moordvesten zijn altijd vers, rechtstreeks van de pers. De inkt is nog niet droog, of daar komt de monster tank alweer op zijn Nike Airs. Die komt de week vervest, mijn rijms zijn zo heet als lava, jullie rijms zijn lucifers. TRA zijn MC killen experts, resonerend op 432 hertz. Hoor wat ik schets, daarom hebben jullie haast. En jullie fucked up rijms zijn alle woorden misplaatst. En wie de bal kaast, krijgt 100 tips in zijn gelaat. Het zonlicht wat open schedels weer kaatst. Kijk motherfuckers, hier is een zonnebril wel op zijn plaat. Maar jullie blijven onder maat, TRA praat is goud, 24 karaat, puur. Ik lees hoogstaand lectuur, elk uur. Ik bouw mijn rijm op als een obscuur avontuur. Solide architectuur, zonder censuur. De woorden die ik borduur zijn secuur. MC's raken overstuur, monster tank het buitenaardse creatuur. Geadopteerd in de aardse natuur. In een woud vol TRA literatuur zetten we die zelfs de rappers tegen de muur. Ik stuur die klauwe rappers naar het helle vuur.
Where they from, Germany?
Damn.
Where are they from?
So that was the Netherlands. Spencer
Netherlands,
21.
okay.
Netherlands, they was doing it
They
in
submitted
Dutch.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing it in Dutch, man, that was crazy. They wasn't playing no games.
Man.
They got to it. Yo, dropped the bomb. It was like, this is it. We going. Yo, shout out to my man. Shout out to God's Wrath. Shout out to Shroom. Soon. Word.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dutch.
Yeah, that was
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Now, if I'm gonna give the chat a homework, just rephrase one bar from there in English. I just want y'all to translate for me. You know what I mean? I might need a little help. You know, I don't speak Dutch, but shout out to the Netherlands.
We got another submission. Coming in.
Okay.
So let me set it up real quick. All right, here we go. This next one is also by the TRA Lord Fernandez in the Monster Tank. Song title is De Lucht Verduisterd.
Oh yeah, you got roll the tongue.
I try to pronounce as best I can.
Yeah, that's good. That was a good little roll of the tongue a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Not quite Spanish, but Verduisterd. De Lucht Verduisterd. From the Netherlands, Spencer 21. Let's go.
Bruine Baron. Twee vechter op
like drill.
This is a drill.
Ik jaag erheen door je meniscus. Skelet in de kast van kerstmis. Slijf van de baan net tennis. Mijn rijmschop is tennis. De beat vond een hindernis. Usain Bolt over 16 barren. Sprinter. Troop op je hondenkop. Blaas alles onder chroom. Jij zet alles onder. Want erop breekt de chromosoom. Hoe hoger de boom, des te meer wind. Hoe groter de honger, hoe meer MC's ik verslind. Gezichten worden zuur, de kracht van het lectuur. Crush je ego's, Vuur net als torpedo's, laat je ogen niet blinken. Ik zal je schip laten zinken, verander je in een bodemaanzicht. Bij verraad, stuur dan de groeten van, met een aanzichtkaart. Fernando is ook piraat, fuck de staat. Zwarte vlag zwaait, de bruine bron vanaf het beton. Beats vallen als een bom, permanent independent. Bombardement, omgeving wordt gescand. Ik heb geen tattoos, dus ik hoef geen hemd. Camouflage is een rage, iedereen is een baasje. Het verhoogt bij hoge promillage. Ha, fuck de hond te hazen. In de wet zitten de mazen, in de nacht dwalen de dwazen. Wie onderschat wordt nooit een daalder. Valt de euro.
Het universum fluistert, de monstertank luistert. De zon valt, de lucht verduistert. 101 bars huivert, 1000 MC's vergruis ik. Door het luchtruim met de Brown Baron suis ik. Tegen de stroom van wack MC's druis ik. Als de zoon van de draak bruis ik. Ik spuug vuur, dat is wel duidelijk. De infernal amoordvesten wordt voor rappers onvertuinlijk. Opgebrand, verkoold, verdampt. Als een Lego Jonko schiet het van de hand. Die in de goot van de straat belandt. De TRA is nu hier, dat is de stand van zaken. De vuurspuwende draken in de ringen van vuur. Waar wij onze zwaarden maken. Met de hand van de meester smeden wij het staal. Ik ken geen hindernissen. Mijn zwaard is zo scherp, het creëert begrafenissen. Zodra ze verstijven staan ze voor paal. Mijn vocabulaire is schraal. Wanneer ik mijn rijm vertaal, drink het uit de heilige graal. Kijk het vanuit de kathedraal. Kijken ze terug in de zaal, dan wordt ze dat fataal. In mijn bloed het TRA mineraal. Mijn stembanden zijn de rupsbanden. Met deze tracks kill ik elke MC verbaal. Wie welke MC houdt bij de monstertank verhaal. Ze spreken niet mijn taal, we nemen ze te grazen allemaal. Kill na kill, ze worden stil van de TRA-kabaal. Bom de feit en moordversen, dat staat centraal. Ik kom vocaal, hard en brutaal. De frequentie afgestemd met het Brown Baron signaal. Rappers in de tegenaanval vallen en eindigen in een neerwaartse spiraal. De tijd reizen dat ze zijnen. Wij komen uit het universum en stappen hier op aarde via een tijdsportaal.
Oh,
wow.
That's it? I like this one. I ain't gonna lie, I like this one. This is dope.
I like the energy of it.
He flowed on it. You know, I wish I could understand Dutch. You know,
Yeah.
But yeah, killing it.
It worked well for not understanding words.
Yeah.
It seemed to fit well. He was writing that beat. That's cool. That's what's up. Shout out to TRA Lord Fernandez in the Monster Tank.
It's real. Yep.
Priest said it was dope.
They killed it.
Good submissions, man. That's what the song promotions are all about. Like I said, once again, all the links to these artists are going to be in the description. The MP3s we just played are not going to be available because those are uploaded. So any YouTube links they submitted or Instagram descriptions will all be able to follow artists. I think that's it for song promotion. Double check some notes here quick. We got no feature presentations, but that's what's up. These promotions are going great. We're getting a lot of good feedback. Artists are getting a lot of more followers. The followers really come from after the show airs because there's a certain amount of people who watch the live, and then there's even more who watch the playback.
There you go, bro. I mean, if you catch us live, you great. I mean, lately I've been in the studio working on some good stuff. Working with Dave Flores. Shout out to Dave Flores. He bought the storyboard through. I'm not gonna let y'all know everything till it comes on AD. We're gonna be doing some soundtracks soon. Shout out to everybody who tuned in, and especially great shout out to Alonzo Bodden coming through and his team. You know what I'm saying? He's been hooking up with our team, and it's been great. We're gonna bring more comedians to the forefront to speak because there's something humorous about the truth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's gotta have some type of humor to it, man. And humor is good for the body, it's good for the soul, and it's cool. It's not like we always hit like this. That was funny. Teacher those.
Right, yeah.
Sometimes we do have fun, man, and it's great, man. 2 Eyes, great show tonight. Thank you so much. AD has been a pleasure. We're gonna let's show them the t-shirts. Make sure you grab the t-shirts. Jade already came through. I think his is on the way. Jay Blaine, all the way through. There they go on the end. Go grab them now. And Tall God, hey Rue, we got your size. I think we got 4X. Yeah. We're going all the way. the more it goes up, so the price is a little bit different. Make sure you get the Killah Priest mini LED fan because it's good to plug when it's hot. I'm telling you, y'all know if y'all living in the South and y'all LA or what's the name, New York, it's hot right now. You get that mini fan and you get to see, and it just don't show Killah Priest. It shows the Braxis album and everything. So that's it. I need to translate it where the Fuji's at. Yeah. Shout out to Nero for Fuji's. And we got those. We got some of them sold out. We have one left. Killah Priest Yellow W. One left large. So I'm not going to talk too much about that. But we got one left. So if you go in there and it says sold out on large, I have one left. All right. So just the hoodies, a little different and show you the time on there. But there's a Braxis too, so grab them now. It's a pre-order, really. I thought we was going to put that, but that's all right.
For what? This one?
Yeah. It's not out yet, but if you get it in now, then you ahead about it. So, yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming. You're out of the woods, you're out of the dark, you're out of the night. Careful, Killah Priest.
But this I didn't learn until it was too late.
I, the black ruler that comes forth from Smai Taiwi. I, the almighty ruler, eyes fiery. And darkness is not a color, for I was in darkness and I created light. Incubated in night, meditated in sight. And you ask why I wear all white? Alright, I'm a Neteru, also referred to as an Elohim by the Hebrews, and Vishnu to the Hindus. I'm from the temples in Eridu, call me Apsu. I'm Tiamat, the obelisk shadows 3 o'clock. Walk with us to see Enoch. The mystery key unlocks, the coffin text he speaks we watch.
People of Thebes, ask pity of the gods. Pharaoh is dead.
Not quite, open his tomb. All praise to Amun, and the sun, which is Ra, later combined. Amun-Ra, sun, moon, and star. Your Moses knows us. Before we toyed with the cobras, we showed them our culture. The same goes for Joseph. I show you them as pharaohs, but different names in their sculptures. Olmecs, Hotep. I am Menace, my thoughts are endless, my courts are crimson, and I am Thoth, the one before Musa when the law was given. You are my children, and I am Osiris, the rider of death, and I am his brother Set. Ra, the sun rises, and the sun sets. Abraham kneels before Melchizedek, as the 24 elders held the text. Over Isis, Ra, El, hold the scale, hold him still, while his feet and palms are nailed. Behold, the pale horse gallops along the trail. The name for gods were El, Shaddad, Nimrod, mighty hunter. His statue atop of the ziggurat steps. Meet Lamu and Lahamu, then Anshar, then Kishar, and their offsprings was Antu, Kai, and Anu. From Chaldeans, the owl is seen during night upon the Nile. A child is floating down, streaming. But you have penalized angels and crowned demons. Come, meet Queen Hatshepsut. We are winged celestials, extraterrestrial beings seen by the Eskimos. We were here in the prehistoric Mexico. No, we're not skeletal, and no, they were never an embryo. Dynastic period, indigo. The Sahelanthropus traditions descendants, the species that mimic our kindreds, but we were monkeys.
People of Thebes, ask pity of the gods. Pharaoh is dead.
Not quite, for we came from the darkest part of the night. For within the shadows, the pharaohs gave you the apple to bite. These are the knowledge of good and evil. We also have the fruits to the tree of life. This is my key. Put it in, turn it, unlock it, and you will no longer be mummies. Around the garden, the meditating monks breathe. Slow and deep, and above the garden, the stars rearrange monthly. 12 zodiacs, please don't react, but it seems like Adam and Eve had company. Come with me, see the god they call Enki or Ea. His record was kept in the forms they wrote called Cunea. In that time they were doomsayers, soothed prayers, tomb raiders, It was called a departure. The moon was split, or it was hit with ships that left moon craters. Here's the meta nature. Nature is where you get nature. Let's read the Vedas. Please, I need debaters. Do you believe in vapor or what you see on paper? The alpha and the omega, or the algebra creators. We are ancient, and you call us pagans.
People of Thebes, ask pity of the gods. Pharaoh is dead.
To settle on tomb, for all existence is vanity. We desire no life in the hereafter. We will know always that we blessed you before we left. And for you who came to us from the river when we were already owned, were the greatest joy of our lives. May your heart be shielded from sorrow. Such is the desire of your father.
Behold, his feet and his arms was black in the temple of Karnak, and along their walls show images of wars during Nubian combat. Above that were shapes and symbols of creatures like they had alien contact.
You are here in the house of death.
Above it all, atop of the hall, the Sumerian star maps that kept the records of when the heavens made Abraham his contract. All compact, Sargon's plaque over Akkad, Belshazzar, kings, elder gods, in and outside of the realms of ours. Images of Thutmose III and King Tut close to birds. Do not touch or disturb the Egyptian magician's words. His arm brushed, his vision blurred, his wisdom slurred.
What do you watch here in the house of death?
Nin Gazeta, attend to the cedar, make them believe us. Where is thy brother, Abel? Am I my brother's keeper? Who are the other speakers? Those from the upper ethers. Wings like a raven, I am no pagan.
What do you watch here in the house of death? What do you watch here in the house of death?
I brought you the bodies of a man and a woman to be preserved by your art, so that they may enjoy eternal life.
As you say, we are artists here. What can you pay for our services?
I have nothing.
Nothing? Throw this carrion in the river.
Wait. I'm willing to work here, to pay for the embalming, for as long as you say I must.
Work here? Only condemned criminals. But the accursed of the gods seek work in the house of death.
There is no man here who is not better than I am.
Put him to work.